Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing today? Welcome to the Casually FC show, the Casually Chelsea show, I should say. Welcome to Casually FC. I'm accompanied by the starting panel of Scott, Oliver Twist, and myself, Casually FC, Marshall, DBDX, whatever you guys want to do. You see, I don't mind if you admit you have an agenda. Smash a like if you hate Nani. Say you have an agenda, but don't say you have practical, rational, fair analysis. That's all I beg, people. That's all I beg. But big up to every single one of you in the chat. If you haven't done so already, smash up the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you're new here, be sure to check out the links in the description. There's plenty of content for you guys to check out, plenty of channels to look into as well and support. And yeah, we're starting the show a little earlier today because I have to go and play a show in my band later tonight as well. So I didn't want to miss out on all the Nani news that's happening, all the Kudus news that broke out this morning, and all the fun stuff that's been going on with Chelsea. So we're going to be here today reporting it and having a discussion on everything that has happened and has occurred since the last time we spoke on the news. But yeah, big up to every single one of you. And we'll start things off with the very first little topic I have before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's show. And that's going to be some of the Strasbourg transfers that's been going on. So for those of you who are interested in Blueco in general and not just Chelsea, here's a little bit of news in regard to some players that potentially might be seeing their way out of Strasbourg. So we'll start off with the first one here. Atalanta are reportedly interested in Strasbourg's left wing back Diego Moreira. So for those of you who don't know or don't remember, Moreira is not a player for Chelsea anymore. He has officially been sold to Strasbourg, as far as I remember, and he is potentially going to be linked to a move or potentially sold. I mean, he had a fantastic season last season under Rossignol. He was mostly like used as a left wing back kind of deployed. He started off at Chelsea as a right winger. Yeah, it was a right winger. He was a right winger at Chelsea. Didn't look great. Then the season after went on loan to Strasbourg, was loaned out as a right winger as well. Didn't look great, but then Rossignol changed his position completely and transformed the player.
You forget the start of that, Marshall. He was loaned to Lyon first in that season.
I say he didn't get loaned to. I don't think he got loaned to Strasbourg. I think he just got loaned to Lyon and sucked. Like he didn't.
And then he stayed with the under-21s.
Yeah, he just stayed with the under-21s for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
he never went out on loan to Lyon. He just got sold.
Mm-hmm. Chelsea sold him for $1 million in a sort of buyback clause. Yep. Damn,
pure profit.
That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy.
We got him for free, so technically pure profit.
Yeah, yep. I guess it's £1 million. I mean, to be fair, I could, if I save up enough money, maybe I can buy, for whatever reason, for my amateur sports team, Diego Moreira to Casually FC, sporting casually. But he's not the only one that's also been linked with a move. We also have here that understand Strasbourg have agreed a 7.5 million euro plus 1 million deal to sign defender Soumaya Koulibaly from Borussia Dortmund. Deal in place between clubs, not a loan from Chelsea, but direct move to Strasbourg, a 5-year contract. So I don't know if this player actually started for Dortmund. I can't say I've seen him play for Dortmund, but yeah, they're making some moves. They're building up that defense against. Obviously, they're replacing Mamadou Sarr, who is no longer going to be at Strasbourg. He's going to be at Chelsea this upcoming season. But yeah, you're ridiculous, Adrian. I'm not even going to put that up. But yeah, good to see Strasbourg making some signings. Good to see it's not just signings that they're making with us, with Chelsea. It's not just back and forth loans and deals and stuff. They're making signings with other players as well and other teams. But any comments, thoughts on Strasbourg's dealings, or shall we move on to Chelsea? Because we're getting straight into it today, boys.
Yeah, I'm not really. I mean, Kudus in particular, I've not heard of this player. I don't know if he even starts for Dortmund, but I don't watch enough of Dortmund to know anything at all. So
yeah, he's not the Koulibaly we knew. A different Koulibaly. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then we move on to another story, which is we're getting right into it, guys. So we're getting straight into Chelsea. Let's get into the financials. So as you guys already know, we are in Club World Cup still, and as a result, we have been earning money. But I did need to point this out that with Chelsea agreeing a deal for João Pedro, the Blues are now set to have spent £263 million on Brighton players in the last 3 years. They also bought in then Seagulls manager Graham Potter in 2022. So I'm assuming this is just the players. This doesn't actually include Graham Potter. So listen, 4 out of the 3 on this, I'll say 2 out of the 4 are probably going to be successes. Caicedo and Cucurella. João Pedro, time will tell. He's looking good. I think he will be a success in one way or another. Robert Sanchez, time will tell with that one. Time will tell.
No, time will
all
not
the bad shit. Yeah,
time will not tell.
We'll see. So, here we go. Sky Cavalry reporting here. A day which started with a 27 million pound UEFA fine ended with Chelsea banking 15 million pounds for reaching the semi-finals of the Club World Cup to take their earnings to 60 million pounds from the tournament. Not a bad preseason tournament, huh, ladies and gents? So, update of the money. You can see the breakdown right here. We have just about 30 million pounds for participating. We got 3 million from 2 wins in the group stages, 5.8 million from the round of 16. Got 10.2 million from quarterfinals, and now we're getting 16.3 for making it to the semifinal. And listen, if we make it to the final, I believe that's 80 mil in our pocket. 80 mil. It's more than that. 85?
No, we get 30.
It's not 100. It's 100 if you win.
No, we get 30 million just from getting to the final. You get another 40 if you win.
Holy shit, bro.
Uh-huh.
That's so much money.
Uh-huh.
These guys are ranking in such bank for being in this tournament, which, hey, listen, if we win this, I think obviously automatically qualifies us for the next one. I really think that should be a rule. How can you be the reigning Club World champ and not defend it? It makes sense. You would have to automatically qualify for the next one.
Yeah, but then you'd have to change one of the, you'd have to change the ruling depending on where they came from. I think the rules are going to change regardless. Yeah, but you'd have to change the rules depending on where they came from because, for example, I'm not saying they would, but, say, for example, a Mexican team won the tournament. How they work out the the CONCACAF teams is by who wins the CONCACAF Champions Cup. If a different team wins it every year, that's 4 people that have qualified from that. If one of those, so let's say for example, it's Club America, Cruz Azul, Pachuca, and Tigres, and let's just say Monterrey win the Club World Cup. Mm-hmm. That's 5 teams for 4 spots. That doesn't mesh. So I understand your point, Marshall, but I don't think that's feasible unless it was a European team that won it, because obviously they only have the 4 years and then they have the next 4 based on whatever it is, the coefficient. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that would be fair. See, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting how they do it, because that has to be a factor. It has to be factored into it, especially because this is a new format now and it's a much harder format than the previous one. So surely, There has to be something that, or it just brings up your coefficient. If you're a European team, it brings up your coefficient significantly winning the Club World Cup. And at that point, you can still drop out of it if you do horribly in Europe for the next 3 years. So that could be another way around it as well. So we continue on here that from player sales since 2020, Chelsea have been the highest earning club in Europe. I believe this is Europe, not this is Europe's top 5. 817 million euros won in player sales, earned in player sales since 2020. But people won't tell you that when they point out our 1.5 billion pound spending. So that's besides the point. So just to put this in here as well, because we're not going to talk about Gittens today, but we didn't talk about this, is how much we paid for Gittens. 48.5 million pound fixed fee and 3.5 million pounds in add-ons. We'll come back into this. We'll also have a sell-on clause. Dortmund have a sell-on clause. That's kind of crazy, actually. I didn't see that. That's actually really bad.
Shit deal, man.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. So, breaking. Chelsea hit 31 million euro fine by UEFA, with another 60 million potentially on the way for financial rule breaches. UEFA have announced Chelsea are among the clubs that have failed to comply with FFP rules over the financial years ending in 2023-2024. Chelsea have agreed a settlement and have agreed a target to be compliant moving forward. They will pay a fine related to the size of the assessed breach. Aston Villa and Barcelona are also among the clubs in a similar position. So I believe, from what I heard, is that essentially we're going to pay... Okay, here we go. Chelsea have agreed a 4-year settlement and a total fine of 69 million pounds, of which 17.2 million is unconditional. Chelsea have even further fined 9.4 million pounds for breaking a squad cost ratio rule. So I think how they're going to do it is that we're paying this amount, and if we don't fix the breaches we made, so the squad size, which I think is what the breach is, we have to pay the remainder amount, if not even more.
No, it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
So we're paying this amount.
We're paying the we're basically paying 25 million euros, and then if we continue with these breaches, like we breach it, then we pay the rest of the money. So that's why they're holding us for ransom.
Okay, yeah. Is that a convenient deal for us? Do you think that's like a loophole?
Well, yeah. If we do well in the club,
better than paying all in one go.
And yeah, and if we sell who we need to sell, then we shouldn't need to. And we're in Champions League spots, we should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, to go back to obviously what people want to talk about this, I'm not gonna lie. And listen, I've said here before, and I've said it multiple times, I'm not the biggest stickler for the price on players, what they're paying for. At the end of the day, let's see what's going on. Now, that's just me being unbiased. If I had to put my bias on this, I don't think this is a good deal. I just don't think Gittens is that great of a player. I know the market is kind of dry right now. It's kind of a shitty market for a left winger. I think Gittens is all right. I think he's good. I think he has potential to be great. I don't see a world-class player in the future there, but who knows? I could be wrong about that. But the add-ons, sure. Maybe they don't hit the add-ons. Maybe they're reasonable add-ons, like he scores X amount of goals as a winger in the Prem or something like that. So, assuming it's just this fixed fee, the sell-on clause sucks.
No, the fixed fee is shit as well, by the way. Like, you don't have to be biased against the player or anything to say this deal sucks. Like, I don't rate Gittens either, but I'm not, like, nothing that I'm saying about the price is indicative of him as a player. Like, this deal is shit. Let's work our way backwards. The sell-on clause. What?
Yeah, I almost rather pay 50 and then not have a sell-on clause.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
The sell-on clause. What I'm hoping, the only thing I'm
really
hoping is that has a sell-on clause on profit, because it's two different. You can either just get a straight-up sell-on clause or a sell-on clause on profit made on what you signed him for. I'm hoping it's the latter. Number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, the add-ons I don't really care about. I don't agree with that either. Is what it is. Okay. The fee. Would you like to know how much that is in euros? Because I looked it up the other day.
57.
55?
57. I'm going with
56.2. Which is what they wanted to begin with.
Yeah.
They wanted 55 to... Well, sorry, they wanted 50 to 60 million euros. And so we paid them 56.
Yeah, this is my problem, right?
Oh, cool. Don't let me. Hey, if we
Yeah,
speak,
this is my
It's not even about. It's not about overpaying. It comes back to the same point with me anyway. It's you spent a month actually, because it was just over a month haggling to the point where we couldn't have him for the Club World Cup because you didn't want to pay what they wanted to then pay what they wanted. You wasted time to pay what they wanted.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the price, obviously. If he ends up actually being really good, then at the end of the day, we don't really give a shit. But I was also here, and you guys remember, we were here, to be honest. I don't think we disagreed on this, but we were here criticizing how much we were paying over the top for Caicedo and how much overs we were paying for Enzo. When we know the January before that summer window where we got Caicedo, if we had paid 80, we would have gotten Caicedo. Instead, half a summer or half a year goes by. We go into the summer window, and now we're paying 20 million pounds or 20 million euros more. I think it was 20 million pounds. 20 million pounds more for the player that if we just dropped the money that they asked for in January, we would have just gotten for 20 million pounds cheaper.
But I get the Caicedo one in specific because that's when we spent the money on Enzo, if I'm correct. So I get it. Let's not paying another 80 million on top of
the issue with the Caicedo one wasn't. Sorry to interrupt, because the issue with Caicedo wasn't the
winter deal.
Wasn't the fact we didn't get him in January. It's the fact of, it was the summer deal in terms of you could have got him for cheaper, or you could have got him way earlier than you did. Yeah, and you ended up paying more than you had to pay overs for Caicedo because you fucked around for so long. Like I remember that summer, I remember going on holiday. I was on holiday, and I went on holiday and thought it was going to be done the first day. I got back from holiday and it wasn't done.
Wait, with Scott,
remember? When it started, it was 50 million pounds.
Yeah, I think it was like 60 million we started off with, and then it was increasing by 5 million increments every week.
Yeah, and it got.
But that's how. CP, that's how these directors do it, though. That's how they negotiate. They just raise the fee in tiny increments.
Until
and it got to the It got to the point of I think we were going to pay 80 and we didn't want to go over. Yeah, and then Liverpool obviously came in, and we know what happened. But it's it was probably that, but that's again, that's where I have issue with these directors. I don't care about the fee in so much as I don't think the fee is amazing, but I don't think it's an overpay or anything. My thing is, if this was the fee, pay the fucking fee a month ago. Why did you wait a month to pay the fee that they wanted?
It sets a precedent as well, you know. It sets a precedent as well. I'm just going to say, people and clubs are going to call these directors as bluff when they undershoot on first bids. All they have to do is wait, and then eventually get to their asking price that they want. It might be a bit later, but at the end of the day, we're at a disadvantage. We're on the back foot just based on the way that we do dealings.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I don't mind. To me, I don't mind the way it's structured. And in fact, in the long run, if he does well, I'm not going to care about the price. What I care about right now is the fact that what Scott pointed out, we essentially gave Dortmund exactly what we wanted. But when it came to Maignan and AC Milan, we couldn't do the same thing. And Maignan, we know, is a great player. That's it for me. That's what bothers me about this.
That's not the thing. It's more like Haas says, he'd be playing in this team. He'd have got game time in this team and know the team. And it's instead of doing that, and it's not going to be a massive issue long term, I don't think. It's more just another instance and another example of them being.
We need a left winger right now.
It's more
we're doing with Nani. Yeah.
Fair. As it happens, we don't. But that's because the manager we have managed to find a system and a solution that then we didn't need a left winger in terms of an out and out touchline winger. But that was on the manager being doing a good job. Because we came into this tournament with 3 wingers and technically 2 because one of them isn't really playing. But he managed to, the manager did, managed to find something new and managed to make something work in terms of whether it's Nkunku, Palmer. I think Pedro could play there in terms of this left winger /10 thing where he kind of inverts a little bit. But he's managed to find something that works there. But as I said, it's not going to affect us in the long run. It's just another instance of these sporting directors like just being incompetent at their job, like just having just no ability to actually do their job properly, not being able to negotiate properly, being completely embarrassed when it comes to like you're dealing with clubs that have an understanding of how to sell players at an elite level. Like you look at sporting directors across world football, and certain sporting directors are just elite across the board. Certain sporting directors are elite when it comes to finding talent from certain areas. Some are elite at doing certain things. Like Marina was elite at selling players. Like she could sell players in terms of she could recoup a lot of money back. And these guys, to be fair to them, these sporting directors and these owners, they are good at that in terms of recouping the money in. The one thing they cannot do is negotiate. And the one thing that Dortmund's sporting directors and owners are elite at is getting the money for their players and selling their players for big money and negotiating when it comes to selling players.
Yeah,
and our sporting directors were embarrassed.
Ha actually has a really good point on this. I'm going to say regardless of Kudus, with this new formation, we can get a 10 instead of a winger, a.k.a. Rogers.
Or a la Rogers,
really good show. Or a la Rogers, yeah. That's actually a really good point, because we were worried about that. We were saying we need a left winger, and now it's like, well, we don't necessarily need a left winger if we play this formation. We could get away with Rogers, who could also play on that
We're not paying 100 million for Rogers, especially when more reports are coming out.
Knowing our directors, we might though.
No, I don't think so. Especially when Watkins is more likely to leave, and that's what they're going to get their money to pass PSR. I don't think they're going to sell Rogers. So.
But yeah, that's. I think overall, I think we're kind of happy that the player is here. Like, I think if we're going to take positives into this, I like that we got Gittens. I think there is a good player in there. Is he worth the amount that we're being asked for? I don't think so, but I think there is a good player there, and he's very dynamic. He's not gonna be as predictable as Nani has been, for example. So I think he's an upgrade on Nani, which is something we need. And Nani is our most consistent winger, or at least in the last season. Now I would say if Neto keeps this up, he's gonna be that guy. So if Neto is the standard, I would say Gittens is probably like not right behind him, but behind him in the pecking order.
Adrian, I don't know. I mean, me personally, my main relief is that it's not Alejandro Garnacho. Everything else remains to be seen.
Yeah, as long as it's not Garnacho, it's fine. Yeah, I do agree in a sense, Marshall. Like I said, I don't rate him, so I'm not like excited that he's here from a sense of like, oh, I'm so like, it's not like Delap, I kind of got to a point where I did rate him. Like initially I didn't when we first put him with him, but eventually for the price of it I did. It's not that kind of excitement. It's like I'm just glad he's here because he's a body in a position we need, and just at the end of the day, just perform. Like just perform at the end of the day. Like you're probably going to be starting left winger. In my mind, he is. But as long as you perform, I don't care, and no one cares at the end of the day. Like if you put good numbers up, if you perform on the pitch, if you're helping a team, no one's going to care.
That is if you're not about Gittens,
if you're not an improvement on what we just got rid of and are getting rid of, then why the fuck are you here? Why did I spend 56 million euros? So again, 56 million euros, exactly what Dortmund wanted on
and a sell-on clause. The sell-on clause is what kills it for me. Because the 56, I'm thinking like, okay,
that sell-on clause is
the 56 we could. That's give or take. But the fact that even if he flops and we want to sell him on, we won't be able to because we're gonna have to inflate the price and people are
the
gonna
sell-on clause is jokes to me because that means we must have had to include that to keep the price down. So what we're saying is it was either that or pay like 60 plus. Bro, these sporting directors, they can't negotiate for shit.
Like if it was 40 plus 8.5 million or 10 million in add-ons,
maybe something like that, and then a sell-on clause. Cool,
and maybe a sell-on clause, I can get it. You know what? We're paying 40 million upfront, fair play.
Yeah.
But paying 50 million basically on just straight up cash and 3.5 and a sell-on, fucking hell, we got rinsed.
That's so jokes.
We got fucking.
At least he's in. Like you said,
too.
At least he's in. At least he's in.
Yeah, at least he's in. I think he's going to be a good player.
I think me and you talked about this before. The problem we have with these directors is them not keeping their own PR the same. Because the PR when we didn't get Manyan is that we don't want to bend
Literally what Curry Pirate's saying. That's what Rico.
Demand
it's just,
to
they were
what
willing to give Dortmund the money they were
the
asking
money straight
for,
up front,
but
right? Like
they
we don't want to
weren't
give
willing to do
we
that
don't want
for
to adhere
AC
to what
Milan.
AC Milan's asking prices because we don't want to do that. We're not that type of club.
Yeah.
And, then
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I rate Gittens more than I rate Maignan as a player.
It's like, bro, like if you're gonna do an agenda, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You're not getting Maignan for this reason, so keep something consistent for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yeah,
like keep
it's just a little frustrating parts. I think overall though, I think it's a positive signing. Like just looking at the player himself, I don't think he's a player that's gonna bring our team down. I don't think he's a player like Garnacho. If Garnacho comes to this team, it makes our team worse. I think he does bolster the team. I think he does give us a good option on the left. Ahmed, welcome to the show. I guess I'll give you the floor on this one. We talked about the FFP fines, how much money we've made from Club World Cup so far, and how much money the club has made since 2020 overall from selling players, and then the fee for Gittens. So we're on the financial aspect of things. The floor is yours if you want to pick on any of those topics.
I think in terms of like player sales, obviously that's one of the things that we should talk about. It seems the market has been moving quite slow. So I think a lot of teams have been basically waiting for the PSR period to kind of end. From a Chelsea perspective, we've always been good at selling, right? I don't think there's any denying that at the end of the day. I think they've done a great job at obviously selling. There's no denying that at the end of the day as well. But I think objectively speaking, if I'm just talking about this window, what does one say? I have to wait and see really until maybe this upcoming week to see how the upgoings go. But so far, we've had links every now and then to a couple of our players, but nothing's happened where real movements began. And I'd like to think this week it's a start where we start seeing puzzle pieces start getting moved, players getting moved, because I think ideally that's what you need to happen right now. So like you need some player sales. I think Madueke has gone this week. I said that last week on my show.
Talking that, yeah.
Right. I think some of these other players need to leave as well.
Okay, fair enough. Anyone want to add to any of that, or any opinions on Gittens or the financials and all that stuff before we move on to the next topic?
No, not really. I think we kind of spoke about it.
Yeah, I think we covered mostly everything. Oliver, CP, you got your 2 cents in? Sweet. All right, let's get into the next topic.
Yeah, all good.
So let's talk about the squad, because I think most of us are kind of curious where we're going to go in terms of how we're going to build the squad out.
Sorry, Mark. Sorry to talk. Talking about the sporting directors and the fantastic work that they do.
What?
The squad building.
Squad building. Squad building.
Right.
Talking about the fantastic work that they do.
We're going to get into it. We're definitely going to get into it.
Oh, shit.
Just so you thought you were over it. Nope, we're gonna still talk about the damn directors. But then this will be the last of it, because then we got outgoings to talk about afterwards. But all right, cool. Let's look into this. So, Fabrizio Romano reported via IG, 4 additions to the attacking department are set to be added to the upcoming season. All Chelsea deals sealed. Gittens, Esteval, Pedro, Liam Delap, and Kenda in 2026 from Sporting. 2026 from Sporting. Does that mean January? I just realized that. Or does he mean the summer?
No, that's the summer 2026.
The 2026 summer.
Okay, just making sure. And he said here at the bottom, and yes, they're not done yet on the market, which might mean outgoings, not more incomings. So hold your breath, Chelsea fans. We continue on. Having done a lot of deals already, sources say Chelsea will now slow their activity in incomings and focus on difficult tasks of player sales, according to Nazar Cancella. Contrary to that, we have Fabrizio saying Chelsea are not done yet on the market. They are looking at center backs and potentially one more offensively. So, Fabrizio talking about incomings. So Ornstein came out with a bit of an analysis on the Athletic podcast about Chelsea and the way they've been moving and the way they've been doing things. And we'll start off with this first quote here. People say Chelsea are stockpiling in certain positions, but that might look very differently when players are shifted. There are clubs that I speak to who say, look, Chelsea were mocked in certain quarters for the long contracts, their attempts to bring the wage bill down, and what appeared to be crazy recruitment. But then now looking at it and saying, actually, we need to take a bit of leaf out of there. Naturally, mistakes will be made within that. There will be experiments that don't work out. There will be many players that do. Some of them won't work initially, but will longer term. You've seen Caicedo blossoming now, for example. And so there's a bit of trial and error in it. And when you're signing players who have market value, and I guess with this sort of American mentality and the need to trade in the PSR era, which more clubs are learning now, it is not something Chelsea are afraid to do. More so, although it may have appeared a bit chaotic in the earlier year or two, I think things have settled down somewhat, despite what you might see on social media and people making it all sorts of jokes. But Chelsea appear to have the last laugh in terms of qualifying for Champions League and forming a side that is looking increasingly more competitive. And that's all I've got in terms of the squad building. So Ornstein kind of seeing the bigger picture. I think most of us have started to see the bigger picture and what Chelsea are building. It looks like, according to Fabrizio, we are going to be in the market for a center back. We are going to try to look for another offensive player. Hopefully a left back is involved in that and it's not just being overlooked. But yeah, a lot to dissect there. Also, Nazar Kinsella is saying that the outgoings will slow down, which it should. We need to do incomings and all that. But Surfer, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while.
Oh, hey.
Oh, incomings or outgoings going.
Incomings are slowing down, outgoings
slowing down. Thank you. Okay. But Surfer, how you been, brother? Talk to me. What do you think about the squad building?
Hello. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Yep.
Sound great.
Well, I think midfield's fine for the next few years at least. I'm encouraged by the attacking incomings so far. The question marks still on some of them, but I think if we can shift the likes of like Felix out and everything like that, I don't think we're up for a title challenge yet, but I do like the keepers. The obvious one for me is always going to be the goalkeeper until they sort that out. It really puts an anchor on what this team can do, really, because I don't credit Sanchez for his form. The end of the season, I just credit our defence not taking a lot of shots at the end of the season. So that's what I credit, because even during this Club World Cup, this guy's been a bozo, especially in the Benfica game when he rolled it out and then blamed Caicedo for him rolling it out to someone, if you remember, during that game. I think it was Benfica. I can't remember.
It was, yep.
Yeah, so to go get the goalkeeper thing sorted out. Fullback's been obviously cover for Cucurella and a centre back. I presume we are going to get a centre back. I don't know about a Antonio Silva, just because I think we will get a centre back in the end. It might be the last one we get in the window, but depending on how.
It looks like we are interested in the Benfica one. What's his name again?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Just because he had a good game against us, I'm just not too sure about buying him. This is like when we bought Salah when he scored twice against us, and we didn't play him just because he played well against us. Yeah, the squad building. Listen, parts of it have been good, parts of it haven't been good, obviously, and stuff like that. But I do credit Maresca again in terms of this Club World Cup, where he's managed to find different ways to play, different formations, moving Palmer around to cover any deficits. Good overall defensively. I think Colwell's form is very good. Unfortunately, he can't play in the Club World Cup because of their stupid yellow card system, which is stupid. But yeah, I think we're okay. I like the fact that he's building a nasty team, which I quite like as well. In this, they seem to have a lot of edge on them, maybe a bit too much in some cases, but seems to be a bit of nastiness going around, which I kind of like. But squad building does need to improve. of course. It totally the squad building will totally undermine them if they go and buy someone like Garnacho. It will totally undermine it. So it will totally fall flat on its face to buy someone like Garnacho. It's interesting. Everyone's freaking out about the Kudus thing, but we haven't actually put in any bid for Kudus yet, so we can't really blame them for that. And we're trying to raise funds for now this UEFA thing, aren't we? So we've got to raise like 60 million plus or something like that, and so else certain people can't play in the Champions League. But going back to your main point, squad building, it's not all the way there. Obviously, parts of it are. Midfield's, like I say, midfield. I think the midfield squad building has been actually very good. It's the best part, obviously. Others need improvements, but I still want them replaced. So it doesn't really matter about what their squad building is like, because I want them replaced. So I don't really care what the squad building is at the end, because I want them gone, and someone else can build this squad properly. So all in all, so base efforts rambled for nothing because I want them gone. I don't really care about their squad building.
I don't think you rambled for nothing.
Yeah,
I think you made a bunch of good points.
I want them gone. I just want them gone because again, I think Maresca saved their jobs in the league season, and he's saving their jobs again in this Club World Cup. So
to an extent, yeah,
to an extent. So and it doesn't mean I want Joe Shields. It doesn't mean I want Joe Shields building this squad, because it'll just be all Man City people. So I was afraid we were going to get what's his name, James Trafford in goal. I was afraid that was going to happen because he's another. I think he's ex-Man City, if I'm right.
Yes, he is.
I was afraid we were going to go.
Where do you end up going again?
Well, he hasn't gone anywhere yet, but Newcastle is increasing in play.
So I was afraid we were going to get him in goal because I was shit, because he's ex-Man City, so obviously he's going to go in there. But I don't want him building the squad either if we were to get rid of hopefully when the sporting directors go. But midfield's great. I don't know how much they've had an effect on that, seeing as they really fumbled the bag with Caicedo and Enzo, and that in terms of right at the end they fumbled the ball. So I'm not really 100% sure how much we can attribute to them. Asugo's in his early stages, so we can't really judge that. Lavia's fitness issues are a worry, but Andre Santos looked very disciplined in his role, because I don't think he naturally wants to do that sitting six role, but he looked very disciplined in that role. But yeah, so the midfield looks good, but the rest is a lot of question marks at the moment.
Yeah.
By the way, Esteval, either Cucurella's short as fuck or Esteval's very tall.
The afro kind of puts a
that's what I mean. I don't know. Esteval was he was tall. He was tall on that pitch with Palmer. Even with Palmer, it's very. Palmer's a lanky son of a bitch. So,
Yeah, I mean, he's 18 for one. There's probably going to be maybe a little bit more of a growth spurt in there. Maybe. I doubt it. But once that player puts on a little bit more mass and stuff, and we really put him in the ringer here in the Premier League, he's going to be a really, really good player. He's going to be a really good player, especially if he keeps his pace and all that.
Yeah, when he plays a third round League Cup tie away at Rochdale, he'll know what proper football is, I'll tell you right now. Saying that though, they kick a lot in the Brazilian league, so you know what I mean. There's a lot of heavy tackles in that one, and they play on rubbish pitches. So
I do think he's going to adapt relatively well. I won't think it'll be seamless, but he's going to stay at Chelsea next season. That's my.
He's going to stay. Yeah, he's going to stay. 100%, he's staying. And all and now you Santos lovers, because he played a full 90, he's going to stay as well. Yeah, unbelievable. So you can clean your pants after you creamed them after we started the other day. You can clean all your pants now. So that's all good. Oh, he wants to leave. What if Santos leaves? And this isn't against Santos. this is like this guy, like we signed the next version of Iniesta or something. Do you know what I mean? Like the way he's being treated. I was like, did I miss did I miss something here? Yeah. Lucky it's working from home.
I'm glad you said that, Surfer, because that actually leads me to the next topic, which we might as well start talking about the squad itself and who's staying and who's going. And we'll,
Monster, have you got that massive picture that someone did again of the squad where there's about 28 names that don't even matter to the squad? Have you got that one?
I have. You know what?
We'll go over that at the end of the whole thing. They put in players that we've already let go.
Yeah.
I
do have it, and I have RSM's Photoshop version of it too. Yeah. So I'll pull that up at the very end of these two segments.
I looked at that, and within 30 seconds, I immediately deleted 29 names off that. After this, I got the squad down to
29. It's agendas, man. People love to do the agendas, but who's staying? We'll start off with this one. Andre Santos. Oh, shock horror. Who would have known? He's staying. Andre Santos is part of Chelsea's plans, but he's not going to come straight into the side. They're trying to win major competition. Sure. He's learning Enzo Maresca wants, which he played as a result of Reece James not being available. He came in as an emergency, and he played really well, and he stepped up, and I think he's going to show Maresca, like, okay, you know what? I can rely on this guy more than I initially gave him credit for, which is what we want, which is what we know Enzo Maresca's like. He has his players that he trusts, and hopefully with that performance Esteval had, really, really jump-started him ahead of Asugo, in my opinion, and trusting him. What were you going to say, CP?
You mean Santos, you said Esteval, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is going to happen a lot this season. I'm sorry, guys. Santos. Okay, so maybe we should just call him Brazilian Iniesta. Why not?
Baby Essien, that's more so.
Baby Essien. All right, Messinho. Remember Messinho? We'll call Esteban Messinho.
Oh, yeah.
He hates that name, by the way.
Yeah, he literally does.
He legit hates that name.
I'll look him in the eye and be like, "Hey, Messinho, how you doing, bro?"
Or just call him William. That's his actual last name.
Oh no! Let's not do that either.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We can rewrite the reputation of that name.
No, I think that. See, I think William gets too much hate.
I guess Chris is not showing up. That's a sad day, guys. It's a sad day. Chris ain't showing up. Anyways, so
I thought he was here anyway. Just didn't say anything for like 45 minutes.
You thought he was tuned out again? Ferris, I get it.
Yeah.
So we have here on Acheampong. Sources close to Acheampong have privately said that suggestions he is frustrated are incorrect. He will only go on loan if he agrees with the club that is best for his development. And the long-term plan is that he remains to thrive at Chelsea. The Athletic also confirming here that Chelsea made it clear that the defender Josh Acheampong will not be sold. Another player that's going to be staying with Chelsea is Mamadou Sarr. Internal raving about the center back Mamadou Sarr. Some people inside the club thinks he's going straight to the first team. Maybe in the first, not starting 11.
I question marks about whether this guy stays or not. Really,
I think he stays. I think he I think he stays, but he's definitely fifth choice. Right, he's basically playing. He's getting those. You know what you just said about Esteval? When he plays against Rochdale in the third round of whatever fucking cup he's playing in, that's going to be his minutes.
Do you know with potential sales of Desassi, Badishile, and Fofana's injury record? You know he actually jumps up to
third choice, I think.
Fourth choice.
I don't think Badishile gets sold personally.
No, I'm just saying. If we get a good offer for Badishile, I think we take it. I think someone comes in with 25 mil. I think we take it. Because remember, I only bought him for 30 something.
Are we talking about Mamadou Sarr? Or are we talking about Badishile?
What I'm saying is, if potential sales could happen with Badishile and Desassi and Fofana's injury record at the moment, given that we've got Colwell, Chalobah, Tosin.
I think Anselmino gets a loan.
He goes up to fourth. Oh, I'm not counting. He goes on loan.
I said Anselmino. His career is finished after what João Pedro did to him in training.
What happened? What is this clip that I've apparently missed?
Bro, to be fair, I didn't even see the whole clip. I saw one clip, and it's just him dominating him physically, like just dominating him. And then apparently there was a second and third clip as well, which I didn't see. I just saw the first one. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, to be fair, though, I don't. To be fair, I don't trust training videos. I saw Werner score a bunch of goals in training videos. I don't need. I saw every shot. I saw one training session where they edited it so much that every shot was on target, and I was going, no way. Every single Werner shot was on a good shot on target, and then there was another one where Kepa was saving everything. And I was like, piss off. So, he's not saving everything. He can't reach top corners. They didn't show the shots that go top. They never showed a shot that went top corner. And I'm thinking, these Chelsea players that dumb, they won't go to the top corner every time. That's what I would do against Kepa if I was training against him. It'd be top corner every single time.
Trying to find
plus, I wonder if it was the first couple of days of Pedro. It was like, go easy on him. Don't do anything yet because he's literally walked off a beach.
I found it. Oh God, it's worse than I remember.
Okay, it's that bad.
Yeah. I think this is one of the ones that Scott's talking about.
Okay.
So he's right here.
Yeah, this is the one.
Okay, let's see this.
Damn. And then here's the zinger.
First shielding the ball. Okay, let's go. Oh damn. Okay. Okay. Damn.
Floored him.
Man, still fighting against 3 people. Okay, I see you, Pedro.
Yeah.
Hey, see you at Strasbourg, buddy.
Hang on though. He just lost the ball to Noni Madueke. He just lost the ball to Noni, so does that mean Pedro's career is over? He just lost the ball to Noni. Watch.
Guys, Pedro
Noni
just got
takes the
here.
ball.
He's being sold to Arsenal.
Noni takes the ball.
You know what that shows, Surfer? That shows defensive attributes for a great left wing back role. You know what I'm saying?
I think you could use Noni at left back. I think you could use him.
You're so shameless, Yandu. You are so shameless.
What?
This guy, bro.
Hey,
it's just try to. I mean, Nani can't do anything right. He can't even breathe right.
What do you mean? I just said he's great defensively right now. You saw
no, not UCP. It's just Yandu. Yandu does not like Madueke. Oh my days. But yeah, in terms of the stayings, that's all we have so far, right? It's confirmed that Achimpong's going to stay. Mamadou Sarr, I think, is really going to stay. I don't, with the other center backs being sold, I think he's going to get that treatment of Penders. Like Penders is being touted to stay as a third choice keeper.
That's so fucking stupid.
That's stupid. Penders should go.
I mean, with Selena going.
No. Don't. Serena will never. Serena will
we
never
need someone
play
for the vibes, bro.
Serena will never.
Both
system.
Both of them should start alone because, like, I'll be honest, the third choice not left back goalkeeper. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, it should be someone that's like, we had the right idea with Bettinelli and Man City had the right idea with Carson. It should be some 30-something-year-old goalkeeper. Yep. Like, for example, Liverpool just signed that Woodman guy from Preston. He's never playing for them. He's never playing for them. He's just going to sit on the bench. He's a good vibe in the dressing room. He can take hold of the WhatsApp group chat again.
Group chats,
like Bettinelli did. Yeah, like that's up. Like who's free? Carson. There you go. It's Scott Carson. What's he doing? Andy Lonergan. Fuck it. Begovic. What are you doing? Are you still playing? What are them guys?
I think you can put Caballero on the bench. He counts homegrown.
Oh, there you go, Caballero. Put the older gloves back on, mate. Like,
no, you know what I realized? You know how
there's like, he's probably doing him in training.
Yeah, you know how there's like Project Mbappe now. I'm gonna tell my kid I want you to be a third choice for an elite club. So you just handle group chats and get paid like thousands of pounds a month.
No, Penders, it'd be wasted development for Penders to be third choice. Wasted, absolutely wasted. We need to see what he needs to go is to go to now a middling Portuguese, Spanish, German, or French club. That's where he needs to go. Whether it's Strasbourg, I don't know. But
I'm gonna ask a question. Right.
But he needs to go there to develop. He needs to pour treatment.
I'm gonna do what Surfer loves me doing. I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate.
Devil's advocate.
Here's a question. Also, devil's advocate. What if you smash the like button? Go ahead and smash the like button, people. Let's see what happens. What if there's the development route for Penders is okay. Let's see how he does in training. If maybe Maresca can see him potentially being useful in the cup games and all this and that. And then if he
third
needs
choice.
a loan, then in January we loan him out.
Brother, he's
That's
third
pointless.
choice. He's not getting minutes.
Yeah, I'll say, Marshall, there's so much wrong with what you said. Number one,
No. I
he's
just
third
don't know
choice.
what's going to happen with Jurgensen. I don't like. It doesn't seem like he's
No,
going to stay.
If Jurgensen's not in the plan, sell him. Why are you keeping three fucking keepers where one of them's 22 and one of them's like 19? What's the point? Like,
Yeah.
if Jorgensen is not in the plans, like if you want to do what you just said, if the club wants to keep Penders at the team to see how he performs and see if he's ready, he should be the backup next season so he can play the cup games.
Yeah.
Because he's not playing Champions League and he's not playing in the league, so he can play cup games. You then need to sell or loan Jorgensen. One of Jorgensen or Penders or both, if you go and get Manyan, needs to leave this club.
Yeah.
You cannot
I'm glad
cannot go into next season with our three goalkeepers being Sanchez, Jorgensen, and Penders.
Yeah,
you cannot go into next season with those three being the goalkeepers because it makes no sense.
I've not seen Penders play a lot, but I know he's already better than Sanchez. Already know he's better than Sanchez.
He's tall as shit.
No,
he's taller than all of our keepers.
I already know he's better than Sanchez without seeing a lot of him. So I already know he's better than him. Problem is, he's too young. He either needs to be second choice and you develop him, or he needs to go out on loan for he doesn't need to go back to Genk. He needs to go to a better league, he needs the Courtois treatment, not like go to Atletico Madrid, but he needs to
just go to Strasbourg.
He needs to go
Strasbourg would literally be the perfect move for him. He's going to be playing in Europe week in, week out. He's going to be playing in. I think you can say next season is going to be comfortably at least a mid-table French league team. Like, that's a good move for him.
They're already going to take Paez and Amigo, whatever his name is.
Okay.
The midfield.
Amigo,
Amigo.
The three amigos.
That's what I thought too.
We got one of them.
They take Penders. They take Penders because they can only take three. So they take Penders as the third one, and then you play him.
To be fair, we might even be able to send another one. Because I'm pretty sure the Amu thing was like, well, apparently it was we bought them so they didn't have to, so they could buy them off us. So we might even, if that's a sale, which I think it could be to them, because he's never playing for Chelsea. I'd say that much for free.
Okay.
Then we could even loan someone else. So like if you own Sarr back maybe for a season, even though I don't think it will be. He was just the first one I could think of. I think that could work as well.
Nice.
Well, since we're on the departure side of things, let's go to that. And we'll go, this is going to be a hefty segment, so buckle up, smash up the like if you haven't done so already, and get some popcorn because we're going to talk about mostly all the players that we're being linked with the small links that we've had so far. So we'll go each player at a time, give our thoughts, and then we'll move on. And I think the last player on that list is going to be Tariq George. Okay, cool. So let's go through this in this order. We'll start off with the first bit of news here. So we'll start these three tweets, and then we'll get to each player. Chelsea have shown interest in Mohamed Kudus, Alejandro Garnacho, and while they made a check on Hugo Ekitike, but are unlikely to make any more attacking moves before players are sold. And this is obviously from July 1st, so about a week ago. Things have changed. Things have moved. But let's see where we are now in the timeline as we progress into the show. Chelsea want to start next season with as many as 9 attackers in their first team squad. They have not ruled out signing another attacking player if one or more is sold. And then going into this next segment here, or the next part here, next tweet, Matt Law saying also that Nani Madueke is attracting the most interest, but Chelsea anticipate interest in Nicholas Jackson and are prepared to sell Christopher Nkunku. More on Nani Madueke very shortly. So Jackson Madueke will almost certainly leave Chelsea this summer, according to Edu Burgos. We start off with this first one, obviously. Omari Kellerman, bought from Aston Villa for £19 million 12 months ago, is also being lined up for a loan. Remember?
By the way, sorry. He is the perfect example. When I know we're going to talk about him later. I just need to get this in here because just seeing this has reminded me.
Go for it.
Anyone that says we should be selling Noni for 25 million when we bought this guy for 19 million, shut up.
Shit. I'm pretty sure this is just a money laundering. This player is a money laundering.
Oh, in fact, it's money laundering, bro.
Yeah.
It's 100% money laundering. Who is this guy?
Like, if he makes it to the first team, then I'll sit here and admit I was wrong.
He's generational. Then if he makes it,
I just don't think
generational. Man.
Well, okay. To be fair to him, he got injured when he came into the team. He did his ACL or something like that. But still, I don't think this kid ever had a future at Chelsea. I'll be honest with you.
If he ever, Marshall, if he ever makes a bench appearance for Chelsea, I'll pay you £10.
Damn.
All right, cool. Hey, Omari, you know what you must do, bro. Don't pull a Harvey Vale. I swear to God. Be the next one.
He's gone, brother. He's gone.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Remember when Harvey Vale came through and everyone was like, yo, Harvey Vale, this guy's the next one up from the academy. Bro, he's in fucking QPR right now. Losing his hair at like fucking 22 because Chelsea sanctions got him stressed, bro. Oh my days. All right, so that's Omari Kelly, but there's not much to talk on this guy. He's I don't know what's gonna happen to this guy if he's ever gonna get sold.
He's a flip, and I do actually agree with what
he must be a flip.
I do feel bad for him. Like, yeah, he gets to play. Well, play is a relative term. He gets to train at Chelsea, which is like fair play to him. It's just like I just feel bad in a sense of like he's actually been bought here to do fuck all with his career to get sold in like 12 months time. Like. He actually was. The thing is, as well, is he was actually like I think he was getting on the bench like very sporadically for Villa. Like, there's a chance. I'm not saying it's big, but there's a chance he's like in and around the first team squad at Villa if he stays there.
Yeah, maybe. I just not for Chelsea, especially with the debt that we have. I gotta find RSM's tweet.
Just ruined this boy's career straight away. We straight up ruined his career, man.
Yo, you heard Ornstein. We've made mistakes, you know. Here and there. Experiments that didn't
a fucking lot of them.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Understatement of the year.
This is another one you might laugh at. This one I actually think has a better shot of making it to Chelsea than not.
Sorry?
And Watford and Chelsea have agreed a 1-year deal loan for Caleb Wiley. Caleb Wiley will sign his Watford contract in the coming hours, straightforward loan from Chelsea. I think he has a better shot because he's a left back. Omari Kellerman is like a straight up.
He's a left wing back.
He's
a left wing back. He's never playing for Chelsea.
Cucurella is now.
No, it's not. I like Caleb Wiley. He's never playing for Chelsea ever. I like this loan move as well, though.
Also, we have a better left wing back in the same position in our system in fucking Barco for Strasbourg. Why do I give him?
I mean, yeah, but this player is a Chelsea player right now. He's not a Strasbourg player right now. But I know what you're saying. Yeah, Barco is not a bad shout either. Yeah. Any other thoughts on Caleb Wiley? I'm gonna keep track of this player's development.
All I gotta say is at least he's got a loan compared to fucking Kelly.
At least he got a loan. At least he's gonna play week in week out, which is fair play to him.
Oh, at least we have unlimited domestic loans, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So this doesn't count towards anything.
No.
Oh, hopefully Kellyman gets the same thing, domestic fucking loan, please.
No, it said Watford, no.
Well, no, Kellyman. I mean, I hope Kellyman gets one, but he's getting Watford, so that's already good.
He needs to get fit first.
That's also true. All right, we continue on. Selena. Gaga Selena is under consideration to be third choice behind Robert Sanchez and Philip Ferguson. But could be loaned out or sold. According to The Athletic, it's a pretty reliable source, guys. Third choice keeper, Gaga Selena.
I actually wouldn't be mad.
These fucking bums one by one. Okay, sorry. Continue.
I wouldn't be mad if he was first choice keeper, but I also do think he should be loaned. I just find it funny, bro. This is another one, by the way. We killed this guy's career for no reason. Like we signed him. By the way, we signed him.
We killed his career.
We fucking destroyed Baby Buffon, dude. We destroyed Baby Buffon.
RSM fact, we signed this guy while there was all interest in him. By the way, this guy also had interest from top teams. Like, he had Real Madrid interest. I don't know if Bayern were interested. There were a couple teams. I know Real Madrid was. There was a couple other teams. We signed him with all this. Oh, we see him as the next big goalkeeper. 12 months later, we signed him.
Yo, Scott, we go from we got you Baby Buffon to we got you Baby Courtois. Fucking hell.
Facts.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, bro.
sorry, Marsh. Sorry.
It's fine.
Alright,
This is just kind of what I was looking for. I'm kind of more mad at myself for reacting to this and thinking of Ziyech. I'll put it in private chat. Here. I saw that and I thought Ziyech. I'm kind of mad at myself. Let's continue on. So, here's one that's of more interest. Yeah, CP's already laughing. Leslie Huguchuku has received loan inquiries from clubs like Valencia and Hamburg, but a Premier League loan remains the most likely option, with further clubs monitoring his situation closely, according to Nazar Kinsella.
I tell you what, we've just talked about players that I feel bad for, and that like the club have done dirty. There is no player, I think, in terms of ones that we've signed that has been done more dirty by this club, and who I wish more successful once they leave this club than Leslie Ugochukwu. Like, if this is true, like, I hope he goes to Valencia or Hamburg and smashes it. Like, I genuinely hope he absolutely smashes it. Like, I wish him nothing but the best going forward. Like, the way that he's been treated by this club is a disgrace. Like, in terms of
just to play a little bit of defense. To be fair to the club, it's also partially the club's fault, but he was given a chance in the team the first season, but Pochettino absolutely ruined him.
Yeah. Okay, and then he had a decent season with.
Like, he played like what, for half an hour.
Yep.
Coming off an injury because we had no one else to play in midfield.
Mm-hmm.
That was his chance.
Yeah, Poch should have not done that.
No, also there's an update on this. Apparently, Fab said that
oh, there is an update.
There's no loan move. Like, we are there to sell. So it sounds like
he's gonna get sold.
Conflicting reports then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This was from 3 days ago, so there could have been an update on this. So very much so.
Yeah, like he's been done dirty, like, just because I think he's shown that
he's bad either. That's
no, that's what I was gonna say. Like, the difference, like, you can say with like the Caleb Wiley thing. At the end of the day, I knew he was never playing for this team because he, like, well, up until this Club World Cup, he did not fit the system we wanted to play. He is a wingback. Like, he is a winger that got converted to a fullback, quote unquote, but was really a wingback playing for Atlanta. He was never going to fit this system. He'd never really inverted up until he went to Watford, I think. And as I said, until we started playing the system where Cucurella is playing now, and that's only really out of necessity because we don't have any wingers, really, he was never going to fit the system. So at least I can say with that, okay, that I understand why his career in terms of at Chelsea has gone how it has. Again, same with like Slonina and other people like that. With Leslie, it's like he came in to be, what was it, 4th choice midfielder.
Yep.
He held his own in the league in terms of, like, I know he got that moment, but like he didn't really look out of place in the league. It just looked like it was a system thing more than anything. It looked like he handled physicality. Went out on loan to Southampton, and when he played, he killed it. Like, he was immense for a team that sucked, that just sucked. And he's now been replaced by a guy who, for me, is further back on a developmental level than he is. So you're gonna have to put more energy in developing him than you did with Leslie at the stage of where their careers are at currently, for like no reason. So yeah, like, it's just weird to me, the way he's been treated and the whole situation with him.
I agree. I think he could have had use. I just think this was one of those buys that we got at the time where I guess the directors, he does not, but he should. At the time when the directors
I actually do, I just don't post anything.
Didn't really have a direction in which they wanted to go to, right? They didn't know if they wanted to stick with Poch. At first they wanted to stick with Poch, and had they stuck with Poch, the team probably would have looked totally different if we stuck with Poch. I'll be so honest with you. And that would have been dependent on if Poch had actually done better in the season than if he did.
When you say that, Marshall, what do you mean? Because I don't know if it would.
I mean, like, if Poch, okay, because based on that summer we got Poch, it seemed like they were trying to do the long term with Poch, but they were playing it safe because of Graham Potter. So they gave him the 3-year deal, the 2+1. And if Poch had done well in the season, and we've seen progress with the players in development, they wouldn't have sacked him or they parted ways mutually. And then they would have built off of the Poch team. But because it went so shit and the directors aren't completely stupid. They saw, listen, we saw how shit you were this season. You just picked it up in the last few games. All right. Because they saw that, they were like, no, we got to get rid of this guy. We're going to we're going to still get players that'll fit generally good players. And then we'll build this season. Now we'll build,
I'll be honest.
you know what I'm saying?
Is that the case though, Marshall? But is that the case though? Like, if you look at I'm going to exclude Gucci from this equation, right? Yeah. But if you look at the guys they were planning to bring in, because the guys that came in, even post-pot, were still the guys the vast majority of the time they were targeting still. They were still players that weren't going to suit Poch, barring maybe Pedro Neto, who would have suited Poch.
No. But like, that's Pedro Neto was this season, right? Yeah, no. It wasn't going to suit Poch because they were Pedro Neto. I think is a player that, despite what manager you get, fits a system.
No.
Right?
But that's the point I'm trying to make. Right? The point I'm trying to make, Marshall, is exclude. I was still including Pedro as in a guy that suits Poch, but excluding him, like all of the other players we kind of got don't even suit Poch in my personal opinion. Who's the PMP guy? Who's the guy that does that sort of thing that we brought in that previous summer? Obviously, which is the last summer. That's what I'm talking about.
Besides Pedro Neto?
Yeah. Besides Pedro Neto, I don't think there's any players that really suit what Poch does.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So for me, the transfer targets have never changed, regardless of which manager has come in. Obviously, I think the problem again is everyone here.
You don't think João Pedro is more of like a Enzo Maresca signing?
No, but
I do. No, I think João Pedro might be the only.
João Pedro can be an
I think Pedro might be the only one, but I do think
he's both. But he sits both categories in my personal opinion. He fits the category of what the club is looking for, and he can also fit the category of the manager, right? So sometimes you have a happy medium there. But like the category that Poch wants and the category that the players want, is kind of like night and day. If we're being fair, right?
Yeah, I do think. I think the João Pedro one. I think that's probably the only one that wouldn't happen, but not because they wouldn't want him. Because I think if Nkunku had played in that Poch system and could stay fit, then he'd basically
Jackson improved as well. Or Jackson
not even necessarily Jackson, because like I think if Nkunku like just played, like he would be the player in this team, because he could either play up front or number 10. In like we saw him play both, and when he did play in the Poch the few times we saw. But I think everyone else we signed, we probably would have signed anyway.
But you guys see what I mean with like why I'm saying this? Because when it comes to Ugochukwu, I feel like he happens to be a victim of just not fitting into what Maresca wants in a midfield.
No, I disagree, because like I said,
he fits the system. That's the funny
thing.
No,
Martin, that's my point. Like, because as I said, we've signed the guy to replace him in this team is someone who's less developed as a footballer than he is.
Exactly.
Like Asugo is nowhere near as technical. He isn't as physical, just because some of that is height. That's not his fault. I'm not saying that is, but like, it's not in terms of on the ball. He's not as good, I don't think. But again, I think that's more age difference. So I'm saying because you've replaced him with someone younger, less developed, and who is going to need to learn this system anyway. But
I feel like with
the problem, Marshall,
right? Real quick before you go, Ahmed, I feel like the problem with Ugochukwu, and Ahmed, maybe you agree or not, in terms of what you're saying is right, Scott, right? Like he's technically been replaced by Isugo. But what Isugo brings that Ugochukwu doesn't is I think Isugo brings you a lot more mobility in that midfield and that pivot that what Caicedo does. I think Ugochukwu lacks a little bit of pace on that, but Ugochukwu has, box crashing ability.
But the problem for me with Ugochukwu,
I don't know.
Ugochukwu, for me, yes, he's good as an A in my personal opinion in terms of the box crashing and stuff like that.
Yes.
But the thing is, you've obviously got Santos there, and then you've obviously got Enzo Maresca there, right? So he's probably already third in that position. The actual guy they need to be looking at Ugochukwu for more likely for me is the Lavia backup, because that's probably what he's. If that was probably what Ugochukwu literally was meant to be, right? He's meant to actually be the sixth backup, because if you look at the role that we wanted him to play and the role that he was playing under Poch, because that's probably what he would have still. I
just don't think he has the pace that Lavia has.
No, but the thing is,
I don't think Lavia is blessed with pace.
No, but the thing is, Ugochukwu, as I said before, Ugochukwu is a screener. He's the guy that's what he needs to. He doesn't need to move that much.
I don't think he has a place in the squad now. You can say it's one game biased, but
no, I'm just talking about what he does right now. So
no, I'm just saying. Yeah. But I know what he can do, but the problem is the players that we bought in and the way Santos played. I know it's one game, but the way Santos screened and did a 1-man 6 job. You know, I don't think Ugo Chukwu is long for this. And
Therefore,
you can't have 6 because you can't have 6 midfielders.
They don't want a loan deal. They want a permanent out, and we can flip him for like 20 mil. They'll do it. So,
but you're losing money. You bought him for more than 20.
I don't. What I will say is,
but
I don't.
It's a monetisation. You don't lose. You don't lose that
know what
much.
to do with the...
The one thing I will say,
wrong.
the two things I'd say on the Ugo Chukwu thing is, I don't necessarily think him and Santos are linked, because if they were, like, I've got two. Number one, if they are linked, why'd you buy him in the first place if you trusted Santos that much? Like,
we got him in the same window, right?
Yes. Yeah, we got him. We got him after Santos. I think we got him the same window
Caicedo and Lavia kind of came in a similar window.
Yeah, we got him at the end of the window. We got Lavia and Caicedo. It was the same window we loaned Santos out to Forest. So why would you get him if Santos was already here and you already trusted him like that? Again, it just goes back to the squad planning. The squad planning was shit. I think the one he was competing with, because in my mind, he could have the Asugo role. In terms of, I think you can still make it work with him having Asugo's place in the team. You don't have to have him then competing with Santos. That's where I see him competing.
You don't need him to. The thing for me with Ugo Chukwu, you don't need a guy that's
Asugo. You don't need him.
But you don't need Asugo. But the thing with Asugo, is that what he does, I don't necessarily think is needed in the team necessarily, right? You have Caicedo, yes.
Alexis, defend the Portuguese brethren, bro. Come on.
Yeah, you have obviously, as I said before, you've got Asugo, right? And then number two, with Ugo Chukwu just do that job. Just make sure that when you play with Ugo Chukwu, you just play slightly differently. That's all you have to do.
I think it's a waste of conversation. He's not going to be here.
The thing is, man, I'm surprised that Newcastle and some of the other clubs aren't going in for him, because I think he'd be an amazing backup 6 for some of these guys. No, I'm just surprised. Because I think he's of that quality.
Why? They're fine with players like Lewis Miley and one of the Longstaff brothers they've still got, or something like that. So they're fine. They don't want him. That's why we know we're going to sell him, because we've turned down a loan approach from Valencia. So, you know, we know Valencia tried to take him on loan. Fab came out literally 5 minutes after that tweet came out and said, we don't want him. We don't want him on loan.
Saying he's not good in the 6. Sorry, I actually have to address this. Saying he's not good in the 6 when he was great in the 6 in every fucking game he played for Southampton is peak stupidity.
Oh, I agree. I just don't think. I think we've got all those options covered. So
I agree. No, Andrew, I agree. And like I said, I think I agree with RSM. I think Asugo coming in killed his Chelsea career.
Yeah, killed it.
100%. He killed his Chelsea career. That's my argument in this. My argument with the whole Ugo Chukwu thing isn't that I'm bothered with selling him. It's more, I don't think we needed to pay the money for Asugo, because you had Leslie, who for me was more developed as a player, could still play the same role. That's where I get the annoyance. If he's getting sold because there isn't a, like, say for example your point, say it's him versus Santos, buy Leslie. If that's who he's competing with, I'm more than happy him being sold. To me, it was a case of I thought he was competing with Asugo.
He just kills. And you know what? He had a good. I know Southampton went down, but he played well, especially second.
I think, I said, I'm pretty sure every time because I didn't watch too many games, but I kept hearing things about him. Every game he was playing, he was playing well. And the games he didn't play well, I think it was under Martin. Like when Juric came in, he was playing well.
I'm pretty surprised, like a promoted club, like a Burnley or Leeds or someone doesn't come in for him. Do you know what I mean?
They might. It depends on. I said this. I think I said this earlier to Marshall. Was it backstage or was someone else? Or at the start was like, I think some of these signings or some of these, especially Premier League clubs, I think they look at some of these players within the next couple of weeks, because pre-season for some of these clubs starts next season. I think Liverpool's is next season now. I don't know what Liverpool are going to do in terms of just. I assume they will keep doing pre-season, but I don't know how intense it's going to be considering everything. But it does start next season. I think United starts either next week or the week after next. So
I just think.
So I think some of these clubs, when they get back to pre-season, they say, okay, we might need a backup in this area because we've got all these players, but we need. Then I think we might.
I can't lie to you though.
A team like Sunderland should be all over this.
Sorry, Sunderland are going mental, by the way. Yeah,
but the thing is, Sunderland's really league on, man. They're making great acquisitions for that league, bro.
They're buying every
making-
African player under the team, bro. Their team during AFCON is going to be fucked. They're going to have low team.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though, man. Listen, I feel like they may be one of the clubs that because they're willing to spend money to actually, buy good quality. Like Burnley, like the other day I saw they bought Kyle Walker. I'm like, that is such a relegation style money move. Kyle Walker in this day and age. Lordy Lord, man.
I mean, what were you going to say on Ugochukwu?
Oh, was it me? Or you talking to me?
Yeah, you were going to say something on Ugochukwu.
Yeah, I was going to say, listen.
The bomb squad's already here. They didn't go to the Club World Cup. That's
they're pretty much, Like this, I don't know if you've been seeing my goat, Disasi, the Brick Nation's been hard at work in the lab, man. I don't know if you've been watching him, man. Listen,
why did you emphasize hard? That's kind of sus.
Again, see, listen.
What happens when you invite girls in your place? You get a takeaway, you get a non-doors.
Listen,
I hate that clip, by the way. I hate that clip.
Hoopla!
yeah, but listen, as I was saying, I think Ugochukwu is a quality player. I think, if he's smart, the Valencia move is actually, I think, a very good move for him. But if he's smart, go to a mid-table league and club, or maybe go to like a mid-table team and like someone in the Premier League if they give you the opportunity, right? And have a season or two there, and I promise you, he'll go to a big club, bro. I rate him that highly.
Like I said, he is the one player above all else. I want him to smash it. Like I hope he does. I hope he proves these sporting directors wrong.
Because listen, I'm kind of going to include Khan into this, even though with him it's a bit more of an injury situation. It's kind of fucked. in one way or another, we did kind of fuck him. If we're being fair.
Let's so let's keep going through some of these signings because we're actually going to touch on some of the players that you guys are talking about. So the next one I had here was Benoit. So Chelsea defender Benoit Badiashile is among the list of players that Olympique de Marseille are currently looking at. That's coming from L'Equipe. So we know when it comes to French news and transfers, L'Equipe are a pretty reliable source. So could happen.
Not really, they're equivalent of the Sun, mate. So
are they?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure everyone's saying that L'Equipe is pretty reliable.
Fabrice L'Equipe are. I think they're fairly reliable. I know they're absolute. Like they are some of the harshest people, like when it comes to player ratings, but they are fairly reliable.
No, they violate over there, man.
They violate, bro.
But the thing is, like, can we ask the real question here? Why are we even talking about this Badiashile? Badiashile, if you remember,
we're talking about all the outgoing, so yes.
No. The reason I'm saying is Badiashile obviously got injured. Yeah, you literally saw this.
Do we know how long he's out for? Has that been reported?
No idea.
Anything?
No one of our reporters decided to ask for Oscar.
No one cares.
No one cares. You know how nasty that sounds.
That's the difficulty in selling Benoit. Is selling Badiashile is his injury record. It's the hardest part of selling about him. He's been injured.
I hope it's not hamstring, man. I hope it's not.
Literally, I think it was hamstring.
Hamstring before.
In commentary, they said he was holding his hamstring, but this is the difficult part of selling him is his injury record. You'd have to take a major. I think you'd have to take him. Amortization obviously helps, but you'd have to take a big
20-25
slightly biggish hit on him, or you have to loan him.
It's so fucking.
Didn't we only pay 30 for him?
Oh my god, he's showed up.
I don't think we sell him necessarily just because the issue with selling Badiashile is we have no other left centre back behind Cole.
Yeah. So we bring in that Kukurea back up. I think there's no.
Yeah, but even then, like I'm proper hesitant of like. Actually, am I? To be fair, you say that though. We're not even like if you look at the left backs. Are we even linked with any left backs today?
No,
we're not even linked with any
left backs. They've gone as cold as ice.
All the centre backs, like Ahmed. You look at the centre backs we got linked with. Like we got linked with Branthwaite, who's now signed a new contract.
Yeah.
And that's it, innit?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, so that's the issue for me is if we sold Badiashile, we would need a backup centre back.
Antonio, the fella from Benfica, is a right centre back, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
He is a right centre back, yeah.
Wait, didn't we already bring a centre back Star and we got Chalobah?
Yeah, but he plays on the right.
Sar's at RCB.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we weren't even getting. Well, forgot about Gay.
We don't know. I don't know if that guy is.
See, I don't know. I think I forgot. Have we sold the Sarsi or was he like coming back?
No, he's still here,
I'm
unfortunately.
glad you asked. Juventus.
My
This was 2 weeks ago. But Juventus contacted Axel Sassi's camp in the last hours. The Bianconeri managers highly appreciate the qualities of the French defender who is leaving Chelsea. The valuation is around 30 million euros.
See, I told you that, and he's worth that money. He's worth the 30 million euros, I'll be honest. And you'd be making a profit, as per Andrew would tell you, on
Watch
the
him play right back
amortization.
at Juve as well.
On the the thing is, he's probably playing in the back three. And you know what? He actually would look good. And you know what? If you play him if you play him as the CCB or something like, or one of the guys on the side, he'd be quality, bro. As an RCB, he'd be quality. I'll be honest. You know,
as an RCB, he'd suck, but as a centre front back, he'd be good.
No, listen, don't worry, man.
Listen, I saw. Listen, the Sassi, the last Sassi stand died in that quarterfinal of the Champions League against PSG.
I'm still strong.
But he came on for cash, and he looked like he came on for cash, but he ended up looking like pennies after he played in that second half. He was
that's a bar, by the way.
They were. Yeah,
I forgot he doesn't like the sauce.
You cook much at home? Yeah, I cook very well.
I can't. Listen,
Lawrence
Lawrence
Stewart should lose his job for this transfer alone. By the way,
yeah, I was a big defender of him because I didn't like the way he was handled from the start when Pochettino threw him in against Liverpool, and he only had like one training session and stuff like that. But and I don't like to use the term, but be shit, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just
that's not right. I disagree with that, man.
Yeah, your talent ID is just sus.
My problem. No. I'm not saying this.
Yeah.
No. As I said before, Disasi. You guys know my thoughts on Disasi. I don't think he's a starting centre back for us. He shouldn't even be starting for us, bro. He should be coming on to give us minutes. Maybe it's meant to be like the uncle figure that Tosin is meant to be as well. You know what I mean? Play a game or two there.
Tosin's bad.
You know what I mean?
Hold on. Question. What centre back is he better than to get any of these minutes you're talking about?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Listen, I'm not even saying he needs to get minutes. I'm just saying he's there
he's
to
control centre back.
You guys could just answer like Palmer did. Don't know.
Listen, he's there. Listen, at the end of the day, let me just finish Scott and then.
Bro, is the Premier League 2 still up and running?
I just want to tell you, listen, Disasi, the problem with him was that we brought in a guy that could not play the system that we played, and because he is a box centre back, he's a box centre back. That's what he was, and like we didn't realize that.
Sorry. Did you come up with a new term called box centre back?
Yes. What I mean by that is that he cannot leave the 16-yard box area. He needs to just be there, make sure to head out the ball, pass it to whoever's nearest to him, and then you keep.
So you make him sound like he's on house arrest.
I mean, yes, he has to be on house arrest if you want him to play effectively.
The box centre back.
I mean, but we always push our centre backs like quite far up. Like
that's the point. That's the point, Chris. That's why he didn't work in the team. That's why he didn't work in the team.
With the Sassy, we can never play an offside trap, is what you're saying.
Big up to Kafkas. He knows. I've said this before as well. I've said he's a showcross. He's a showcross, man. That's it. That's what
Shawcross moved out the box.
Listen, that was once in a blue moon. So listen, you know what I mean?
That's more than the Sassy. The Sassy doesn't even move on any moon.
That's it, man. He can move on a meteor. How about that? But one thing I will say about listen, Disasi, he's my guy. But listen, he needs to move on. Hopefully, we can find a good spot for him, and everyone make some money on him. That's all it is. I just think again, the problem with Disasi was we brought him to be a backup, right? And he did not work out. It is what it is. We move on. Shout out to our boy Brick Nation. Shout out to our boy Brick Nation. I thank you for those headed goals, those headed celebrations, man. That shit used to get me, hyped. Brick Nation.
No, Ahmed,
the streets will remember you. The streets will remember you.
Let me correct Let me correct something you just said, Ahmed. The issue with Disasi was we signed him. There you go, full stop, period. That was the issue with Disasi.
The streets remember Disasi. Brick Nation, I remember your sellings, man.
Like I said,
to remember
Lawrence Stewart, by the way, that absolute criminal, Lawrence Stewart should lose his job for this signing alone.
These streets you keep remembering, is it because nothing ever happens in that area that they will remember Disasi? Is that why? Is that what they remember?
No, man, literally, you know what it is, man. The streets will remember. That's what I'm gonna say about my boy.
Well, I feel sorry for those streets. I really do. If they remember the Sassy.
People remember. Fuck
He's
Our number 2.
I
My
can't
number
believe
2.
We
My
can
number
move
2.
on to another player.
My number
Yeah,
2.
you know what? You know what?
really spent
That's the
40
truest-
million pounds on this, or 40 million
That's the
euros, whatever
truest-
it was, man.
That's the truest
It's
thing
not.
you've ever said about him. He's your number 2. You're absolutely right. You're number 2. Absolutely correct. He is a big number 2.
I miss you.
Absolutely right. A giant number 2. Giant number 2. And he's yours. He's your number 2. You can have him.
Let's move on. Let's move on. So we got more. João Felix. Speaking about another big number 2. João
Right.
Felix wants to return to Benfica. Seeing Bruno Lage, the coach, who I know was important for my career,
there for
earns
talk about
points in
him?
my decision. I see with
Speaking
good
of
eyes
number
returning to
twos.
Benfica, and it is maybe where I am most inclined. You're saying you found your home again in Benfica, João Felix. Oh wait, I forgot Alexis is in the chat. Fuck.
Good fucking with
You
Can I just
out,
say?
babe.
Can I just say? There's a guy.
Wait.
Can I just say? Wait. Before I let everyone go, that I want to show you another guy that's younger than him. That he actually left. I think just before he did. Actually, yeah. Renato Sanchez.
What's going on?
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Renato Sanchez
Yeah.
was at Benfica. Then he had the big move to Bayern. If you remember, he went on loan to Swansea. Then he went back to Bayern. I think his next club was Roma, wasn't it? Was it? No, it wasn't Roma. Sorry, he went to He went to
He went
Lille.
on loan to Swansea, remember?
You know, I said he went to Swansea.
I remember him
He
passing
went
to like the.
He went to back to
red eye on the
Bayern.
scoreboard.
Then they sold him to Lille. He had a great season at Lille. So then PSG decided to buy him. If you remember, it was then to the PSG. He then got sent on loan to Roma under Mourinho back in the day. If you remember, went back to PSG and then went back to Bayern.
I've never. This is in modern day football. I've never seen so much a player get so much defense who's delivered so little on the pitch in my time. He is a giant waste of every one of his supporters' time.
Where's the?
He doesn't deserve your support. He has never given you anything for you to support the way you support him. Honestly, he is a giant waste of talent. He's 24 going on 25, and he's never excelled apart from at Benfica, and he got the move to Atletico Madrid. He is a waste.
Lazy. Lazy. Too lazy.
He's a waste for every. He's been wasteful for every club he's ever been at, and for the national team as well. He is a complete and utter waste of time, and that's another black mark against these directors for the fact that I'm saying it right now. I would have rather signed Hemorrhoid, whatever his name is in the summer, the striker, than this guy. He is a complete. Twice we've signed this guy, and twice it's been a waste of time, and one of them was on loan and we didn't have to pay that much. A waste of time. This guy barely played well in the Conference League. Now people will say, "Oh, but Maresca didn't play him," because Maresca didn't want this guy. He knew what this guy was, a complete flimsy waste of talent, waste of space, selfish. AC Milan fans hated this guy, and he was only on loan there for less than 6 months. And Milan's got a shit team as well. Remember, they've got a shit team. Honestly, João Felix. The ultimate comps player. At least Dembele has actually now put a season together and won something and helped his team win stuff. This guy is a waste of a football shirt. Honestly, he's waste.
Oh, Marshall.
I will take, and I don't care how much he is from Benfica, I'll take anything from Benfica to get rid of him. I don't care what the loss is, anything. Just get this guy, get this waste of oxygen away from this club. I'd rather play with Amari Kellerman than this João Felix at this club. That is rubbish.
By the way,
absolutely
Marshall,
rubbish.
Something Surfer said there, just going back to your point about like what we said about Poch earlier and about if he was still here. The reason why I disagree with you is what Surfer just said there. These sporting directors and owners signed this guy knowing, like, they just signed him regardless of what Maresca wanted when it came to Felix. Like,
Second time,
there was even reports that came out of it like multiple reports from people within the club that he did not want him, that he had not asked for him, and they signed him anyway. So going back to your point about the Poch thing, even if Poch was here, they just signed these players anyway because it's what they wanted.
It's because he's the only player. Someone put it in the right, and I don't do this. I don't like the word hate because I think hate's exclusive for someone who does something really bad for you. But I hate this guy. I hate watching him play football. I hate that I couldn't. The reason I didn't, I was very silent on him when he was at Milan because he was still our player. He still had to come back to us as a club, so I couldn't take the piss out of him because he's still our player. I honestly, a complete waste of everyone's time. Like, I feel sorry for him in a way that he's come back here and he was never wanted from the start. Maresca didn't want this guy. He didn't want this guy. He showed it. There was games where you were crying out for an attacker to come on, and Felix was on the bench. He didn't even bring him on. It was
him and Nkuku the 85 minutes, bro.
This is how you know Maresca didn't want him. He'd rather play Gusto in a 10 than Felix in a 10. That's how much Maresca doesn't want this guy. Okay.
Yo, by the way, hold on. By the way, I was about to say. By the way, hold up. Wait, I'm about to say this. By the way, when Nani leaves, Marshall's finished. That's like half his video catalog gone.
I know, what the fuck, dude.
You're finished, Marshall. You're finished.
I
by the
gotta
way,
change up so much.
And the Sassy's gone. That clip is finished. Like, bro.
Oh, thank the Lord. Thank God.
Marshall's yeah. Once the Sassy's gone, you don't have to see that the Sassy clip no more,
I
bro.
gotta update all my clips.
Finished. Finished.
Yeah, we're winning, but it is.
I just even today, there's still people in our fan base that will give this guy a chance, and I don't understand what has he ever done for this club for you to give him this. Even like I don't like Noni, but Noni's done like 100 times more better things for us than Felix has ever done for this club, and we want Noni out, and they're the same. They're probably the same people that want Noni out, which doesn't make any sense. He is a complete waste of everything. He is a waste. That's what he is. If I was to sum it out, Felix, waste. That's what he is. And then you can put whatever after it.
Yeah. ...
Waste of air. You know, just waste. Honestly,
I think there's a lot as well that, like, with the Felix thing, because I defended him vehemently the first time I was here because I thought, like, he was the best of a bad bunch. I thought he was at least looking like he tried. I thought some of the times it wasn't always his fault.
Oh, he tried.
He came back, and I was almost immediately on his neck because of how shit he was playing.
Oh,
I knew football karma was real
because there is no defense for him. He sucks.
I now know football karma is real because when he missed that penalty in the Euros, I laughed out loud when he missed that. I said he was going to miss.
That's nasty work.
I said he was going to miss. We were on that stream. We were on that stream, and we said Felix is going to miss, and I laughed out loud. And then 6 weeks later, he signs from my club, and that's when I know football karma is real. So that's why I said very silent on him at Milan because he was always coming back here, and that's when people go, when he scored. I think he scored in his debut for Milan, and everyone's going, "Oh, I told you," and then nothing for like 16 games afterwards or something like that. And people were hyping up his. People were hyping. Remember his loan spurt at Barcelona when he started well, and then he went like 20 plus games without registering anything after that, and no one mentioned that, did they? Do you know what I mean? It was like, oh, but he's playing out wide. Yeah, because he's shit, and because he can't play in the middle. That's why.
I need you to stop talking about João Felix because when that penalty happened, this is probably what happened.
And for the boys, we get to prove ourselves. You know, everyone's been talking a lot of shit about us this season, but we've done it.
Yeah,
we've done it. We've come back to Chelsea.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
so you're the reason.
So, like, I think for me, listen, guys. Yeah, if we're gonna be honest about João Felix, we know why we brought him in. You know what I mean? It wasn't brought. We didn't buy him for his quality. We brought him as a favor to Jorge Mendes, bro. That's just the simple reality of it. He needed a club that was going to be able to extract him out of Atletico Madrid by any means necessary, and we were willing to do that in exchange for getting Pedro Neto. Quite literally, that's what happened. Now, I think for me with João Felix, I don't even know how much money you can even get for this motherfucker.
I'd accept 20. I'd accept 20. That's right.
For me, like we brought it for how much? 36 million.
More than that. I was 47.
Yeah, 40 something. Yeah.
Shut up, man.
What do you mean?
Oh man, no
way.
Yeah, because basically it was like some sort of weird exchange. No, it was a weird exchange with him and Gallagher.
Let me check now.
How much we sell Gallagher technically for? Like 40.
Transfer market.
It was pretty much the same. We sold Gallagher for like around the same price as well.
Yeah, sorry, 42 million plus 4.3 in add-ons.
Yeah.
Is that euros or pounds?
Pounds.
42 divided by 5 because that's how much the maximum amortization is.
I guarantee he's not hit those add-ons.
Oh my god! So basically, on the books, he's like on the books, he's somewhere around about 32 million right now on the books because he's got 4 years left in his deal.
I'd accept 20.
The thing is, bro, I don't want to accept the 12 million loss on him, books wise.
Why?
I don't care. I genuinely don't give a shit.
Sorry, 20 million he's way overpriced. 20 million. He's way overpriced. 25. I think Benfica are offering 25. I'd snap your hand off for 25 for him.
But it's euros, bro, not pounds.
I don't care. That's way overpriced.
He doesn't care for 25 rupees.
It's way overpriced.
Well, we may as well take the loss now because it's just gonna get worse over the years anyway. It's gonna go like less and less value.
The issue we've
and I
got
don't know
with
what
Felix,
it's I think it's like 150.
I say the issue we've got with Felix is we're going to need to take a loss on him because it's either that or rely on him having an excellent loan spell.
Never happened.
Didn't have one at AC. They wanted him out in the first month.
Bro, because he stank. Because not only was he terrible, he pushed one of their best players out of the position he was playing for the first half of the season.
Did he?
Yeah, they were playing Reinders at the 10, and he was playing really well. And then they moved Reinders back into the 6 because they put Felix in the 10.
He must be money laundering at this point. Why?
He fucked Reinders like a good season that he was having, even though he just shit 6.
Mm-hmm. Bro, like your heart, just get rid of him, man. Just get him out.
Benfica, do us a favor, please, and let's move on from João Felix
20 million
to the next Portuguese. I think the next one's Portuguese.
There's certain, just before you move on, Marshall, I'll say there's certain guys in this team who, like, we need to get as much money for certain guys. Like the guy we're going to talk about, get as much money as you can for him. Madueke, get as much money as you can, and Kunku, get as much money as you can. There are certain dudes in this team. The last 2 dudes we spoke about, Disasi and Felix, just get them out of this team. Just get them out of this team. If you take a bit of a loss, Veiga had a good loan. You can make profit on him. That's cool.
Yeah.
Madueke is at the highest price we're ever going to get for him, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get to Madueke. He has his own segment. But first...
Oh, never played. You can't use.
Oh, Renato Veiga. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bin so many.
Veiga's dumb as hell, bro. He burned the bridge for no reason. Respectfully.
Wow, Veiga's hairline's cooked, you know. I didn't even realize it was that bad.
Nah, he just has a big forehead.
I don't think he should be.
The thing is, like, you look at the hairline, it's crisp. He just has a big forehead. That's just unfortunate genetics. Yeah. As a Somali man, you should understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised. You know? I'm surprised. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. Oh my.
Wait. Just before he leaves the club, I gotta. Yeah, I had to. That one's fresh too.
No comment.
This is fresh.
Renato Veiga could be sold as Chelsea can't guarantee him minutes in his preferred center back position. And then apparently Bayern.
All right, man, just put ice. That's what you need to know.
This guy's such a fucking pro.
Ice is staying at your house? You just called ice over? Like, they stayed at your crib?
Speed down, man. Speed down, bro. Speed down. I had to go ice, sorry.
FC Bayern have added Renato Veiga on high potential 4 options for a new center back this summer. Any incomings will depend on Kim Min-jae exit and also timing of negotiations. There are also several clubs keen on Renato Veiga who can leave Chelsea on a permanent deal. So yeah, another player.
That's a nice shot, that is.
The picture or the shot?
Yeah, the shot of like in spitting out water, man.
He's spitting on the other team, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think that's water, but I think that's Lucas said, mate.
Is it? Because I think Lucas said is in his can unopened.
No, that is open. It's because
it has a little hole at the top.
Yeah, look. I'm drinking one right now, bro.
Oh, I guess so.
Right here.
There you go. There we go. Ahmed with the Lucas 8 sponsorship right there. But yeah.
Brown Envelopes Nation.
Brown Envelopes Nation.
Okay, bro.
But yeah, this is a player that I think we can get a good amount of money for, and he has interest from Bayern. Do you guys think also part of this is pettiness?
What, Chelsea selling?
He broke the bridge, so
I mean, yeah, what Ahmed just said.
Hey, yo, bro.
It's a shame what happened, but yeah, he kind of broke the bridge.
He broke the bridge. No, but like...
You are the bridge.
No, I'm not.
The bridge nation, he burned the bridge nation.
I'm talking about the proverbial bridge that he had.
Oh, okay,
you know
okay. That makes sense.
Does that make sense? Right, so he broke that, right? So essentially, anything the club does from now is because of him, because he's the one that, you know, was forcing the move to be permanent initially. Then it became a loan, right? And then he still pushed for that. And then he tried to backtrack when the loan wasn't about to go through. So, you know, and by the way, you have to look at his agent, by the way, because his agent fucked him dirty there too. Like, his agent, did a poor job of helping him out there too.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But it is kind of on us as well, I want to say, because like, didn't we just buy him as a left back, and he's not a left back, and he just weren't happy with it?
Well, he
so,
said he was multi-versatile.
The thing is, he came in, said he was happy about it, and like,
but maybe he thought, okay, he can do a job at left back.
Okay, you know what it is, bro? No, you know what it is. Hold up. No, I'm telling you exactly how it is, bro. No, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it is. Sometimes when you get your first job, they're like they're gonna offer you minimum wage and insane hours, but you're so desperate that you say yes. And then like 6 months in, you're like, actually, this sucks. So then he was like, can I play center back? And they were like, yeah, it's not happening, chief. Like, you can play center back, you know, on occasion, but we want you as left back cover. And he's like, okay, then I want to move. And they were like, you want to move? They're like, who do you think you are? And then he's cooked. He burned the bridge.
I think it's a bit of both.
I also think it's like, I don't think the club or the player fucked it. I think Portugal fucked it. Like, he was fine playing left back until Portugal played him centre back. That's why. And ultimately, like, I think I've had this conversation before. He is in a position where that Portuguese defense is so terrible. Like, outside of left back, where they actually have a good left back, it's so cooked. That Portuguese defense is cooked. So he has a genuine chance of starting for them at centre back at a World Cup.
But you know why I disagree with that, bro?
I understand why he wants to play there. It's just unfortunate for him and for us and for everyone else involved that we signed him not to play him centre back.
So listen, hold up. I'll say this though. For example, in Capie, he plays a lot of left wing back or just left back for Leverkusen. But every time he comes for Ecuador, we just play him center back.
No, but he's at least played centre back. Like, he played centre back before he went to Leverkusen, and he was playing centre back for Leverkusen a lot of the time anyway, because they played a back three. With Veiga, he played centre back I think once for us, and it was out of necessity because I think we didn't have anyone else. So I think Badiashile was out. So like, I think that's the difference, and it's also Martinez. So like, he's a terrorist, so he could decide to like.
I think Roberto Martinez was saying that I want you to play LCB because that's what I want you to play, right? And again, as I said before, that kind of fucked him mentally because he was basically about the World Cup there, and that's the problem, man. One of the things I think Renato genuinely, if he had stayed at the club a little bit more, he would have probably been a lot more of a mainstay than people believe.
Yeah, I think he would have had minutes.
Yeah, like I'm looking at their centre back options. By the way, I'm looking at their centre back options now. Like, he is one of their centre back options. Like, this is in their last squad, so this was Nations League. It's Diaz, Silva, him, and Inacio. So it's like, if he plays regularly, he will be ahead of Inacio. He has a chance to play be ahead of Silva as well and play alongside Diaz. So I understand from his point of view. This is what I don't really have any hatred for him, but I also don't blame the club for doing what they're doing. I don't think anyone's at fault. It's just something fell apart because of a situation, circumstances that came about completely out of the blue. I don't think anyone was expecting him to get called up and play centre instantly. Like, it was cool when it happens, but in hindsight, it was actually a shit thing to happen for us and for him.
Yeah,
because he'd still be here, I think, and he would have stayed the rest of the season, I think, if that hadn't happened. But yeah, so like I said, I wish him the best when he leaves. He will leave, because I agree with what you said. I think it was you, Marshall, that said I do think some of this does come down to pettiness as well, because I still think there could be a place for him in this team, but I think that the owners just kind of want to get him gone for like not just pettiness, but also because of like they feel a little bit of like hurt by it potentially, or not hurt but annoyed.
Basically,
come out and say like, I don't want players here that don't want to play for the club.
Basically, it was a cunt, and they don't like that.
A little bit, yeah.
But he wasn't.
If you want to put it like that, bro.
Why do you think I wouldn't say that? Why would you not think I wouldn't say that he's been a cunt? Because that's what he's been.
He hasn't though.
No, that's he hasn't, bro. Like
he hasn't. Though.
No, I think.
Alex.
I'll explain now. I'll explain why. Like, I would say being a cunt is like really forcing the move, ruining the locker room, etc., etc.
Yeah.
This brother just got a bit too big for his britches. You feel me? He thought he was in a position because he had started for Portugal that he was able to start demanding stuff from the club. You feel me? He basically pushed them to give him a loan move so he could play center back, right? And he burned the bridge. Like I said, I don't think that he was being a cunt about it. I really don't.
He was being a cunt about it.
No.
He tried to force the move.
He
just overstepped. He overstepped. It wasn't that crazy, bro.
Yes, but he was being a dickhead. He legit was being a dickhead. That's what he was doing. So
okay,
he tried to force the move and everything like that. At the end of the day, he's not paying the price. Goodbye.
So what do you want him to do? Not to be a cunt? Him to stay at Chelsea and be okay with it, or?
I'm not saying they need to stay at Chelsea. I just think there was a much more classy way of doing stuff, and he didn't try to take that route.
No, he tried to I'll be honest. He tried to, in terms of the. I think what he wanted was the right move in terms of like go out on loan to get some experience playing centre back, then come back to the club. I just think that he didn't expect the club to react in a way that it did, which they're entitled to. That's not me saying the club is wrong for doing that, but I just don't think I don't think either side expected the other side to react in the way they did, because like he basically made it clear as well. He didn't want to leave on a permanent. He only wanted the loan. Like he wanted the loan. He did not want the permanent.
No. He wanted to go the loan only after, as Kafka said, because I was after Dortmund stuff. Because the Dortmund stuff, he put in a transfer request to make the Dortmund stuff happen. And we all know Dortmund are the kings of what's it called? We're not gonna pay that value, bro. We're brokies. Here's 10 million. Here's 15 million. You know what I mean? So that's the point. Like I think that's the point. That's the argument I'm trying to make. So at the end of the day, he was being a prick. He was being a dickhead. Yeah, and now it's time to go, dickhead.
If I remember correctly, because it was a bit of a quick saga, it was one of those situations where I think Ahmed and Kapkas are right. He was gonna go on a permanent, but then Dortmund didn't want to pay the evaluation. Then they decided to do a loan, or it was a loan with obligation, and then he was like, wait, no, I don't want to actually go an obligation. So yeah, it was a weird one. Like, no, I want to stay at Chelsea, but I don't want to go on an obligation. Something like that. It was it was a weird one. It was a weird one for sure. I think it's kind of all parties. I think it's mostly him for. I think things were told pretty clear to him that like, listen, you're gonna be a backup left back. You got Cucurella ahead of you. By the way,
can I ask you a question? Where's this report of him pushing for having a transfer request and pushing for the permanent move? Because I'm going through Fabrizio's tweets about Renato Veiga, and the only thing that is reported is him turning down because they were talking about a loan with an obligation, and him turning that down because he wanted a straight loan. That was on the 14th of January.
Sorry.
Because he doesn't want to be in the club, Robinson. It's that simple. I'd have to look into it, which I'm not doing right now.
I found a tweet here from the 13th, which says, club opened the doors to a permanent exit, not loan. We wanted around 30 million euros for Veiga. But there's nothing here that I can see. And then a one from the 12th. Chelsea are currently only opening doors to Renato Veiga's exit on a permanent deal. So the club were looking for a permanent deal to begin with. He just wanted a loan. That's why I don't have as much hate for him, because he wanted this situation where he goes out on loan, gets experience as centre back, and comes back. It's just that didn't work for the club. So
I'll be so real too. Like I don't even have hate for the guy. I just like, all right, it didn't work out. It is what it is. We move. Like that's how I see it. Like, all right, you wanted other things. You figured it out while you were at the club. You could have been patient and gotten what you wanted here, but it is what it is. Like, in one hand too, I feel a little slighted because he kind of used this as a stepping stone in a sense to get into the national team, which he was not getting a sniff at. Oh yeah, Plattenberg has it here. Big up for Alexis. I'll put it up in a second. Hold up. Oh, wrong one.
We ain't leaving, man. We ain't leaving.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it. Okay.
Which tab is it?
Hashtag V.
Anyways, exclusive. Borussia Dortmund reached a total verbal agreement. Dortmund now pushing to sign 21-year-old left back Chelsea.
Left back, by the way.
Dortmund now. Yeah, right. Dortmund now keen on trying to find an agreement with Chelsea about a loan deal with.
Hang on. This doesn't. By the way,
Right.
this literally
with a deal with
doesn't.
an option to buy. Yeah, that's
This
what I thought it
doesn't
was.
say. No, this doesn't say anything. This says he's keen on the move. It doesn't say he's keen on permanent move. He's keen on the move. He was keen on the move. On a loan move.
But surely, so this is where, like, again, all parties, right? Because, yeah, he was dropped from the squad, right?
Yeah, he
Because
was.
Ahmed even said, like, his agent also fucked him, right?
Yes.
Because surely his agent should have told him, hey, listen, are you interested in this? This is a loan obligation. Because the agents are the ones that are telling Florian Plettenberg the news and all that, right?
Yes.
So he goes to Veiga, and Veiga's like, all right, yeah, I agree to this. And then when it comes out and it turns out the evaluation doesn't meet and the deal's going to fall through, then he comes out like, oh, no, I just wanted a loan. I didn't want the obligation. So there was a U-turn on that point from Veiga as well. Like, he must have known it was an obligation at the end of that. So, like, it's a little bit of.
Yeah, but that's why he
really.
turned. That's why he turned the loan move down. Like, because there wasn't. I think it was getting closer to there being a loan move agreed with Dortmund, but it included an obligation. He turned that down because he only wanted what's it called? He only wanted a loan. But like, I'm not saying that I'm not saying what him expecting to come back is in the right. I'm just saying that's what I think he wanted was he wanted to go out on loan, get experience playing centre back, and then come back and play for Chelsea. But he's like he just didn't. I don't think he was like aware of the situation.
Yeah. So yeah, it's once the fee wasn't agreed on, then he switched up, and either he wasn't told by his agent or he knew and then he switched up once that it didn't go through and he came out and said he didn't want it permanent. I don't know.
Anyway, who cares about this guy, man? He's gonna go Juve anyway, so like it's not even that deep.
Or Bayern, who knows? We'll see. But let's continue.
He ain't going to Bayern, man. He's going.
Speaking of going to Bayern, maybe
he ain't going to Bayern either. He's staying.
I mean, listen. After what happened to Musiala yesterday, I think they're looking for someone now. So he might actually go to Bayern now.
He's here to stay,
like
man.
That's
what I was thinking
that deal
before.
has now opened up a lot more now. So Chelsea want to sell Nkunku for £35 million this summer, according to the Metro, right? So take that with a pinch of salt. But we all know.
You know what the Metro? Do you know what the Metro is the equivalent of an ITK? You might as well just call it an ITK source. I'm so serious. I'm saying about that.
Sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah.
That's like the free paper that you get literally on the.
But
agree
listen,
with
it's also like, let's also be honest. Like, this isn't a surprise to us. Like, he is. They're the club are looking to sell him.
People
We
were
said
just
it at the beginning
asking
of
him.
the segment.
But the club.
I think we'll definitely sell for the right price.
The point is, the problem is that price that I got 35 million is half of the price that we were quoting buying just in January, right? Remember, because but last year, so this January we quoted 7 million, right? Was it not 7 million?
I think so, yeah.
So there's no way we just decided, you know what, slash it in half and let him go.
No, I don't think it's selling for 35. 40 is the minimum, I think.
I think so.
I think you even get considered.
But I think this is a reasonable price, though. To be fair.
There's no way this is reasonable.
I
Do you know
don't
what
know.
you're going for?
This isn't reasonable. This is not reasonable.
Yes.
But considering he doesn't play, he's looked like shit
He does
this whole
play.
season.
He does play.
He's actually playing quite
in terms
regularly.
of the whole season, he
Look how much he's playing in the Club World Cup right now.
Yeah, in the Club World Cup.
Even
I'm
if
not
you
talking about
exclude the
just the
Club
Club
World
World
Cup.
Isn't
Even
that not
if you
important to us?
exclude the Club World Cup, Marshall.
Yeah, but I know I'm not saying it's not important. You're just trolling, Chris. Never mind.
No. Even if you exclude the Club World Cup, right? He has played some more regularly for us, right? On the Conference League.
Yeah, and he's done fuck
off
all.
the bench, way off the bench. So he has played some more regularly. This is basically his first season at Chelsea, because if you remember the season before that, he only played
No,
4
we're not
games.
doing this.
You
This
only
is his
played
first
4
season
games.
at Chelsea.
Yes,
You're just gonna
because-
erase all of last season.
Why not?
No, I'm not talking about the season, Marshall. I'm talking about the season we just had, bro. Was his first season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I thought you meant
Yes.
like
Look,
now.
the previous season, I'm bringing the point that he only had four
Okay,
performances.
yes, you're right.
Right?
You're
He
right.
only played 4 times, right? So that's the point. Because like he legit was not healthy for a whole season. So you can't lose a whole season of value. You can't say, oh, he lost value for a whole season because he was hurt. Right? So this season, obviously, he's not played that much. He's obviously not played that well, as many of us here would agree with. Partly due to the manager and the system that he's played. Partly, obviously, due to himself as well. But he's still a player that is of quality, that can produce elite talent on his day But you need to look again, Club World Cup, goal that he scored. Again, right? So for me personally, I just look at that and I'm like, and he's playing really well right now in the Club World Cup, whether we like it or not. Guys, this guy,
I can't catch a break with you guys because in the January when I said
this guy,
50 million for him, you guys were like, he's not going anywhere. No one's gonna buy him for that much.
Yes, because it's January, Marshall. No one pays high prices unless you're like really in a dire situation. You're not gonna pay those high prices in January. That's why people
I don't think anyone's gonna pay 50 million for Nkunku. I'm sorry.
I think 40 is the minimum.
No, they 100% will. They 100% will, because Marshall, what you're going off of like previous. It's the same reason we were able to get 55 for Mount and like 60 for Havertz, because even though they were shit, like Mount came off a season where he was dog shit. He was injured for half of it and did nothing the other half. But we got 55 because what you're paying for is like you're hoping that that's a blip. You go and look at what he did at Leipzig. He was top goal scorer the season before we bought him, or the season we bought him, but where he stayed there. He's been like one of the best players in that league during his time there in terms of consistent performances. You're hoping you get that. What you're not hoping you get is you get the Chelsea Nkunku. So that's what you're like. That's why he's worth the 50 million or 55 million. That's why he's worth that, and we should not be selling him for less than 50 million or 55 million. That's ludicrous.
Listen,
wait, you're telling me, Scott, if you see like a 45 to like maybe 47 million, you wouldn't take it?
It depends on if there's add-ons. If you're telling me it's 47 plus like 15, 20 in add-ons, yes, cool, I'll take that.
So there's no really much add-ons.
I'm sorry, man. I'm seeing this market. I'm not taking 35 million for Nkunku. You mind this market?
You want to go Marshall?
Let's be real here. Go ahead, Trevor. Sorry.
I take your predictions. You've been like 0 for like 17 with your predictions, so I don't take your predictions.
True.
So, you know.
I haven't predicted anything. What did I predict?
Oh, my days.
You want me to bring up all the group chat stuff you predict and never happens?
Oh.
I don't predict, man. I don't speculate, man. Come on, man.
RSM.
Did you not speculate like yesterday?
Number one speculator, by the way.
Speculation.
The speculator in chief.
I don't speculate, man. I don't
speculator in chief.
No theory crafting. No inferencing. I don't inference. I don't speculate. You know what I mean?
It's not inference. It's infer.
Yeah.
No, inference.
Yeah, but when you do it, it's called inferring. It's not you do infer. No, anyways,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not even talking about no inferences as well. So, like, you know, that's not.
It's not infrared.
Listen, thank you to Kafka for knowing it's haram to speculate. At the end of the day, man, at Chelsea, I deal with cold, hard
speculation.
You know what I mean? That's what we deal with here, man.
Cold, hard.
Anyways, no. But by the way, hold up. By the way,
right now, all I know,
you can just hear him on the pitch. Referee. Oh my god.
Listen, bro. All I'm gonna say is, Ahmed, if you only want to deal in cold hard facts, I never want to see match previews, only match reviews on your channel. Don't give me a single match preview next season.
Match reviews anymore. I don't do any match reviews.
If you want to deal with card,
I don't want to see no UCL previews. I don't want to see you doing the UCL, lottery. None of that.
He will.
Wait. But listen, I'm not gonna speculate in those reviews. All I'll say, the manager is saying this. That's what he's saying. Bish Bash Bong comments. What's your
speculation? You're just gonna be a retweet.
I don't.
Yes.
He's gonna be a worse. He's gonna be a worse pies, bro. It's crazy.
If you don't want to deal, if you only deal with,
I'm just gonna aggregate, man. I'm gonna aggregate now.
If you only deal with cold hard facts, then I don't want to see. I don't want to see you have another transfer show until his deals are done.
I can have a transfer show. I just talk about what's happening.
No.
I don't speculate. I don't talk about.
No. You said you deal with cold hard facts as well. Is what you just said in the stream.
So I can have a transfer show where a player's come in.
No. That's not facts. It's not facts.
That's a fact. A fact is a player has come into the window. It's been confirmed by the club.
No, it's not. Speculation.
Speaking on, I can speculate because I didn't give myself this gimmick, right?
Man. Please do
speculate. He doesn't say cold hard facts and then talks about speculation afterwards like you do.
I do the best of both worlds, which is why
exactly,
I'm here.
Yeah.
So Sky Sports Keith reporting here, right? That breaking: Sunderland are close to finalizing and signing Georgi Petrovic on a 5-year deal worth around 25 million euros. In the same tweet also, Sunderland faced competition with Bournemouth for Petrovic. Other clubs in Europe are keeping tabs. Chelsea value at 25 million pounds. Sunderland have made an inquiry for goalkeeper Georgi Petrovic, but faced competition from Bournemouth. Chelsea won 25 million pounds. The deal is not yet advanced, and other clubs in Europe are also keeping tabs on the situation. I think Chelsea are making a mistake on this one.
We best get like Mike Mannion with this. Like,
I
can accept like sadly this if we get Mike Mannion or something, because like this is a joke. Like,
if I was to speculate for a moment here, I would argue that
No.
I would say Georgi Petrovic is worth 30 million pounds, but that's just me.
You are not allowed to speculate. That's direct red. They didn't even give you 2 yellows. That's a direct red.
No speculating.
No speculation from you. After what we just went through for the last 5 minutes, no speculation from you. I almost ran out of breath. I almost suffocated on stream.
Why is he doing this? Like, why is he doing this gimmick?
Is that a second yellow?
No, that's a straight red. I dismissed the first yellow.
Is that a free transfer segment ban? Like for this one?
How about 3 players? We'll do that.
Oh wait, you haven't deemed if it was a reckless
that was a bit
statement
long.
though. Was it a reckless out of control statement?
It was endangering the player. That's
Yeah, was it in the? Oh, so it is a straight free player transfer segment ban.
Yeah, because we got a lot of players to go through.
Yeah.
This feels like a really dumb mistake. I mean, listen, if I am to believe, right? Speculation. If I'm to believe that, yes, Georgi Petrovic had some lip with Maresca, that he needs to be given the first first starting 11 position for goalkeeper versus Sanchez, okay. On a moral point, on a fundamental point, I agree that you shouldn't be demanding that you play and shit like that. But also, from a mental and intelligent and a logical point of view, bro, we all know he's better than Sanchez. We all know he's better than Sanchez. Maresca, you know he's better than Sanchez. So fuck the whole morals and shit. Like, just, this is when you could bite the bullet and no one will be mad at you. So, like, I don't know.
The fans won't.
Maybe he doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing too. I don't know.
He just doesn't like him. You know what I mean? Seen him,
That's a
doesn't
shame.
like him, doesn't get on with him, doesn't want the hassle. There you go.
Yeah. What do the rest of you guys think on this one? I mean, you probably already stated it in a previous show, but 25 million pounds for Petrovic.
I want to correct
I think we're
something.
being robbed.
I want to correct something I said earlier when I said about Leslie. I changed mine. He's the second highest player on my list of players I want to perform well when they leave this club. This guy's top.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he's going to be a success. Like, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind when he leaves this club, wherever he goes to play. I don't know whether Sunderland's the right move for him in terms of with the other interest he's had. If I was him, I'd go and play for probably Galatasaray of all the 3 clubs that's been interested, because he's almost guaranteed to win a league title next season. He will start because they just got rid of their starting keeper in the summer or this summer.
Because
So he will guarantee start for a team that will win a league title next season.
Yeah, I saw Bournemouth on there, but they've like sold 3 of their back 4. So what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
To be fair, Bournemouth will be decent because you know you're getting game time because Neto's
yeah, they
not
probably
playing.
won't go down because the 3 promoted sides are shit. So they probably won't go down.
Sunderland, I would say, probably got the best chance of staying up, but it's always a bit of a risk. Like, and I don't want to take that risk considering the season you've just come off of. So as I said, go play Galatasaray, like smash it there, then get a big move somewhere else.
Yeah,
Like,
go. No one watches you. You only get your good highlights shown anyway over here, so we'll get a move somewhere else. So
I also
after a
feel like
couple of
he's
years.
easily like 40 million pounds, not even 25 million pounds.
No,
I don't know what the market is on keepers at the moment is the issue.
No, it's the problem with goalkeepers. They're not respected enough to have a high number.
I guess.
And he was only playing for Strasbourg, by the way. It wasn't like he was. If
They
he
had
was
a really
playing,
good season with him though.
I understand that, but
They
it's
almost made
Strasbourg,
UCL.
Strasbourg is still a low-profile team.
I was going to say,
Yeah, I guess.
Mark, you say this, but like Balker, that keeper that's had some really good seasons for Nice, just got sold for like 20 million
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
to Saudi. So like, yeah,
If he was playing for Leverkusen or Leipzig or Dortmund, you could see that price get a bit higher. But
If Petrovic goes for 25, then I'm going to be really keeping a close eye on Chevalier and what price he goes for. Because he's supposed to be like, I think they're just about, in terms of the seasons they had for legal, they're just about the same. Chevalier probably, gets ahead of him.
Depends also how much he's got left on his contract as well.
Yeah, that's also a good point.
Actually, I think Petrovic is a decent amount of time. I think.
I think that is, if we're being honest, that's probably PSG's long-term target.
Who?
Chevalier.
Surprised that's not already. I'm surprised if that's not already set up somewhere.
Yeah.
You hear the Donnarumma rumors about him like maybe leaving or something like that. I would suggest probably Chevalier's lined up for that role. And it's perfect.
I would say we should go for Donnarumma, but
We'll see.
No, Donnarumma wouldn't work in this system. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he hasn't got a great kicking ability, has he?
Yeah, with his feet, he's tragically bad. Like, comically bad.
Maignan would be the best.
I would love Mike Maignan. Like, he's good price.
Maignan would be the best option.
Maignan is probably cooked though. We're not going back in for him.
We're not going back.
From what I've heard. From what I heard, it's pretty much over, bro.
When we rock up to Crystal Palace, is it home or away, whatever it is, first game of the season, and Sanchez goal, it's gonna be fantastic.
The thing is, I do think that we're probably still in for another keeper. It's just I don't think it's gonna be Maignan, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be that fucking.
I don't know who though.
Guy, what his name is? That
no,
Trafford
he's going
guy.
to Newcastle.
The Trafford guy's already going to Newcastle. Why are you talking about Trafford? Yes.
Trafford's gone now.
Trafford's gone. Yes, he already agreed. Player to club.
Chris uses this channel as news.
Yeah, I okay. No, you know what? Fair enough. No, bro. It's been like a week ago. Newcastle already did a player to club. They agreed with the player. That's completely over. Now they now they're just putting in offers. I think they put in the first offer and it was pretty close. They're just like doing add-on stuff right now. Like it's over. He's gone.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I can't even run the jokes about Trafford anymore because he's pretty much gone.
Yeah, no, he's pretty much going to Newcastle. It's like
that's good.
I don't know who else.
Exactly. Other than Maignan, we don't have the list, and I'm scared. I'm scared because George Mendes, we're about to get into contact again.
What do you think, Diego Costa?
Please no.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Like I was high on Diego Costa until I saw the Man United game. After I saw the Man United game, I'm like, please God, no.
The issue. Do you know what the problem is with goalkeepers? That is, we're in an unfortunate position with our team where any goalkeeper almost in world football will be an improvement on what we have. So, as much as it sucks, right? Like we're stuck in a rock and a hard place.
When will it end, Bobby? When will it end, man?
I think Costa's a good keeper. I don't think he's one of the top, but he's an undoubted, like, massive improvement on what we have in goal.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like he's not my number one, and I don't think he's elite, but he's a definite improvement. So we might have to bite the bullet and pay the 50 million, whatever he's going to cost, because he's that much of an improvement on the absolute dross we currently have.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, you know what, Scott is right, because we either bite the bullet and pay for a keeper that's an upgrade, or start of the season I see Sanchez and I have to take the bullet. So it's one of the two. You know what I'm saying? So the club needs to do what they need to do to keep me alive, because I am not surviving another season of Sanchez being our keeper, bro. I'm so sorry, I'm just not, bro. I can't do it again. I can't do it, bro.
We touched on it earlier. Like,
if Chelsea Football Club cares about me, bro, they'll save me.
I think for us to be in for another keeper, I do think it would require one of our current keepers to leave, because otherwise you're going to have, I know some of them will leave, but you're going to have 5 keepers if we buy another one.
Yeah, it's Petrovic. It's Petrovic because he's actually nice.
Oh no, I'm not including Petrovic. If I include Petrovic, that's 6.
Oh,
we have 6 goalkeepers.
I would say Penders Strasbourg, because low-key Strasbourg did develop Petrovic really well. They developed him well. I can't be upset.
I hope he goes there, but like if we get a new keeper, one of Sanchez or Jorgensen has to leave permanently. Has to leave.
Let's be honest. We're not.
Please West Ham, bro.
We can say we have many keepers, but we know most of them are going on loan, so then we don't need to factor them in. We're talking about 3 keepers that we got: Sanchez, Jorgensen, and Penders are the 3 keepers. Like you said, one of Sanchez or Jorgensen has to go for a keeper to come in, and I'm not having this. When that new keeper comes in, that they're here to compete with Sanchez. No fucking way. Nope. They're here to compete with Sanchez. I don't want them to begin with. There's no way. If if that's when I signed for Chelsea, if that's a statement they released, I would demand a transfer right away. I'm not here to compete. I'm not here to compete with. It's like when Sanchez was bought in. They said he's here to compete with Kepa. I would have walked away right then, But
how dare you?
I don't know what the keeper thing looks like. If Sanchez is our keeper next season, it anchors what we can do, because he led not just for goalkeeper. He was up there, just overall players of mistakes leading to goals. Do you know how rare that is for a goalkeeper?
He ended the season,
finished the top four.
He ended the season joint top in terms of mistakes leading to or errors leading to goals. The only player that was joint with him got dropped by his club halfway through the season.
Yeah. And countless how many other mistakes that weren't punished.
Bro, people are trying to sell us. Oh, but he had a good run in.
No, he didn't.
Up,
we
just saved us 9 points. Remember that?
No, we just limit. I keep telling people this. We just limited shots on goal. That's what we did. We just limited them. How many saves did he actually make?
He just became a non-factor in so many games. That's really what it was.
He just caught the ball.
Yep.
That's what he did.
I said it before though, Andrew. Like I don't think you heard, but you might not have heard when I said this. He's got to thank the Lord Jesus Christ that Delap is coming, because some of his grenades he's putting up there, Delap is actually able to control some of them. So instead of ending with like 3 out of 21 long passes completed, it's like 7.
Oh yeah.
So like at least his stats are getting inflated.
Someone's going to bring it up in December about his passing stats. Look, his passing stats have gone up, and all of them have gone to like the lap.
You said something. What did you say?
No, it doesn't matter what I said. Let's continue on, actually, because there's a few more players we need to discuss.
No, I think you said something fucked up. But...
Nope, it's okay. West Ham could be set to make moves for Chelsea's Kieran Dewsbury Hall or Carney Chukwuemeka if they sell Mohamed Kudus this summer. Since we're on this, might as well talk more on Chukwuemeka. Dortmund sporting director Sebastian Kell confirms they want to keep Carney Chukwuemeka. I'm very confident we can do it. We don't want to get any worse. That's why we'd like to keep him. Chelsea know that too. Dortmund are in talks with Chelsea for a new season-long loan for Carney Chukwuemeka and want to finalize it after the Club World Cup. And then the latest right now is the idea was for Chukwuemeka to stay in Dortmund during the Club World Cup. It was agreed a month ago and signed off officially last night. Plans are afoot for Chelsea midfielder to spend another year on loan there next season. Another loan for him at Dortmund, I don't think would be a bad idea. He actually looks pretty good at Dortmund. He just needs to play. Stay fit.
Depends what the plan is going forward, because I saw a report that like apparently we want to include a 30 million, like I don't know whether it's optional or mandatory fee, which if that's true, that would be their joint most expensive incoming ever.
If they get another loan and then they transfer him, that would diminish the fee, I'm sure. Or unless they have to pay the release clause.
Well, it depends if it's mandatory or if it's an option. If it's mandatory, unless we put a Jadon Sancho type get out of jail free, which I doubt we would. But excuse me. He just needs to go and play. Ultimately, because like he's not really in a great position to sell just because of the injuries and whatnot. Like from what I heard, he played well when he did play last season. It's just the injuries thing still. But yeah, we're not getting this 30-40 million that we want for him. That's just not happening, at least not in this state. And certainly not from Dortmund either. Like if we want to get that for him, you need to send him elsewhere, because Dortmund will not pay that.
Anything else on Carney?
I can't stand broke clubs. That's what I'll say.
It's not even them being. I'll be real. It's not even them being broke. This is just what they do. They don't spend high money like that. If this was a Juve, I agree. But like this is just what Dortmund do. Like they don't spend
the max they go to
a lot
30
of money.
million. The max they literally go to 30 million. And I think
but they won't spend, bro. If they
no. I'm not saying they're not going to spend. I'm agreeing with you. They're not going to spend it. That's the point. The highest they've ever spent on someone, I think, is actually one of the midfielders again. I think it was Nemecha. And I think they paid like
The most money they've ever spent on a player was Ousmane Dembele, which they've bought for 35 million euros, which equates to nearest makes no difference 30 million.
I'm not talking the match, boy. Why? Because like I say that
Felix?
Was no in the Mecha.
Felix Nemecha, 30 million euros.
Okay, so yes, that's what I was saying. Like, so essentially, it's within that ballpark, innit? Once you get 35 million, unless they think of you as a generational talent, then listen, bro, they're not doing that. So, listen, at the end of the day, Chukwemeka, it's time for you to find another home that's not in Germany, mate.
I think he would kill it in Italy, to be honest.
But they ain't paying that money.
I think you should go to Sunderland. Sunderland would help.
Speaking of bro clubs, like, come on, brother, what are you doing here, man?
Yeah, you're right.
I actually think you should go to Sunderland, bro. You should go to Sunderland, in my personal opinion.
To be fair, I do think, like, I don't mind him going back to Dortmund. Like, this club just has to get it in their heads that they're not going to sell him to Dortmund for £30 million.
The problem is, bro,
like, I'm calm with him going there. If the plan is to just send him there for another loan just to play, fine. I'm absolutely fine.
They don't care about his future, though. That's what you need to understand.
No, Ahmed. I'm talking. I know they don't. I'm talking in a. They did not spend 35 million. I'm talking from a perspective of you've got to understand you can get this money, but not now. So I'm not talking about caring about him. I'm saying, are you willing to wait on it for a year? So you loan him this year with the view of if he does well, you probably get that 30 million, not from Dortmund, but from another club. Or do they want that money in now?
32 million with add-ons.
The thing for me is that I think the club wants the money somewhere.
There wasn't 35 million.
They want him out, bro. They want him out.
Yeah. They have a release clause on him, and they know he's a good player.
It's not even about release clause thing, bro. I just think it's a thing of like the club just want him out. I think the club would actually set 30 million for him, but it would have to be something where they get a bit more money up front, because that's the way the club works. If you get a bit more money up front, helps them out. All right, fair enough. But I don't think they're really as hard on as many people believe. For that 40 million valuation.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it pushing because we still have Nani.
I know you mentioned KDH. Slightly. I actually am still of the view KDH could actually I think there's a very, very high chance he actually stays at the club. Yeah, he's very high chance.
Wow.
I think the Club World Cup. Obviously,
if he's okay being a good player, then
part of it is obviously his period in the Club World Cup, and I also think if you just look at the type of player we're kind of making him use of him as, he's almost becoming like a Swiss Army knife in the last few minutes of the game. He's kind of like doing that job, and I also think
not the sharpest Swiss Army knife, but
you know what? Because for example, when we got a Plymouth or something, like he could look really good in those type of games. We've seen it in the Conference League, bro.
I think the other thing also is also about he's a bit more of an adult in the room, a bit more of an older player, can help out a lot more of the younger players, considering what they're going through as well. So listen, that's what you need to look at there.
Shout out Unk Tosin, man. Unk Tosin, bro. One of the only W's of the last summer.
You know what, man? Tosin needs to leave, by the way, man. You know what I mean? He's not.
No, but not the saucy, right?
Here we go, bro.
Here we go, bro.
Update. Kendrick Paez and Matis Amugu are going to spend 2025-2026 on loan to Strasbourg, according to The Athletic.
Okay.
Yes, revealed Chelsea's special plan for Kendrick Paez. Paez is with us to share the group. The best thing for him is to stay in Europe, play 30 to 35 games, league games, and then he'll come back to us. In terms of Amugu, medical schedule for Matisse Amugu, 19-year-old center midfielder, as his loan to Strasbourg for the 25-26 season is imminent, as first called by Sasha Tavoleri. And I think Hendon Paez are probably on their way there as we speak, because their preseason is starting very soon.
No, can I be honest about Amugu?
Oh, be dishonest, lie.
I'm going to be so honest about Amugu. I don't see it, bro. I actually don't see it. I actually decided, you know what? I genuinely decided, you know what?
How much did we get him for again? Do you guys remember?
I genuinely, listen.
19,
I genuinely, 1970. I genuinely went through his tape, at St. Etienne, for some reason, randomly, you know what? This
12.5 million
pounds. Oh, that's even less than I thought.
I went through his tape in it, essentially. I watched a few games of him and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I wasn't moved.
Bro, he played. Didn't he play all of 500 minutes for St. Etienne before he joined?
Yes. No, so he had a few starts.
No time.
So there's that. Listen. My other problem also is, listen, Pai is another one, and listen, my Ecuadorian cannot like what I'm about to say about him. He's another one, man. The hype has fell down. You know what I mean? There's not that much juice around him anymore.
No, you know what it is, bro. I
No,
said
but
it
I-
before, man. It's listen,
listen, man.
it's survival.
he's
It's
got-
survival of the fittest. If he does what Santos did, he'll find the spot in the squad. If he doesn't, he'll be moved on. It's that simple, bro.
No. I'm just.
I was gonna say, I
talking
think
about
also
him as a player.
RSM, not RSM, Ahmed. I think the reason the hype has died down is twofold. Number one is like it's shiny new toy syndrome. Like the moment the Esteban thing happened, like the shine rep like went off of him because he wasn't the shiny new toy. Like it's what we said about Leslie and Asugo earlier. Like the moment that the shine came off Leslie is because they got shiny new toy syndrome and got Asugo.
He also turned 18 before him, and he spent months in France.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think spent like a month and a half with the team at Cobham. Like he's been so under the radar.
Not even like
Man, I hope he plays well, man.
And maybe RSM can correct me just because I don't know the Ecuadorian like that. It just seems like he hasn't played football in a very long time.
It's been since pretty much since he turned 16, and immediately I think at 16, 18, he turned 18, and then I think like a week later he went to Cobham for like a month. Then he spent like I think the last month of the season with Strasbourg in practices and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's and then that's it. And he still gets called up to the national team. Like he still gets minutes. He's not starting anymore because again he's not there fitness wise. But like he's still he's still developing.
I think that's the thing is like if he was playing regularly and there were like comps or clips on Twitter for people to go off like there has been with Esteban, like I think there'd be still some hype. But it's like, bro, I haven't seen anything about players since the season finished. All I see is an occasional tweet about, oh, he's now at Cobham, he's now at Strasbourg training. Like, cool.
That's it, yeah.
You know what I was saying? I'm gonna say this, yeah. Listen, I hope you don't start calling him. I hope you don't start calling him Kennedy. If you know what I mean.
Just don't be racist.
It's not the same. It's not the same as Steve. It's not the same as Steve. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same.
No. Kennedy's a former player, bro. Like he's still.
Kennedy's a former player. Like I said, just don't be racist towards Asian people. You might be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, we want that.
Oh my god!
That's why Kennedy got kicked out of the team.
Wait, who got kicked out?
No, I was talking about his playing level, bro. That's what I was talking about, bro.
I was talking about why he got kicked out of the team. Like,
you dickhead, man. You absolutely.
Nah, regardless, like I said, bro, like Strasbourg.
Because I was
Strasbourg has proven.
talking about his play level. I was talking about his play level.
I was talking about him getting kicked out of the team.
I totally forgot about that. That's
These guys, man.
Sorry, so what are you saying?
No, I was saying I think Strasbourg has proven itself to be a place where if you are a player that has potential and you can deliver on it, you will get better. You will improve, right? Everything that you need to improve will be at Strasbourg. So if you don't do it, you aren't worth the hype. If you do it, you'll find a spot in the squad. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Can we ask the real question?
Can
we ask the real question though? Is there any strippers in Strasbourg? We need to make sure.
I don't know.
Because, that's what you tell us.
I don't know, man. You know what? But if there is, he'll find them, bro.
Next
I'll
player.
go on this, man.
We're wrapping up on this segment very, very soon. Mark Guillou is expected to go out on loan.
Hey.
No one's surprised.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That makes the most sense. I think he's a good player.
Mark Guillou should actually go to like a low league club. I actually think
There was that report. I don't know why it died down. There was that report that apparently he was going to go to Ipswich on loan, to be the Delat replacement. That'd be like a great loan for him.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually. Yeah,
you know what would be a great loan for him as well. Unironically,
he does look different every week.
Listen, Strasbourg would look good for him.
No,
we want Omega to develop.
Dude, Omega's
No.
Because
the problem is, Omega is always going to be, in my personal opinion, a flip. So, listen, you need to actually look at him
but Ahmed, if he's going on loan, I want him to go somewhere he's going to play. I don't want to send him to Strasbourg to be the backup to Omega.
I feel like with the way Omega plays and stuff like that, he does need a backup. But I get what you mean. I think for me,
no, but then that backup should be a guy they like sign. Like go and sign someone for Strasbourg. 5 mil.
Straight class in Ipswich. There probably is, man. There's always one city.
There probably is.
Yeah, there probably is, man. I remember the one I went to. Okay, I can't say that about myself. Actually, I almost exposed myself for fun.
Because we still have so much to talk about, and I have to go soon. So I want to finish this up.
I almost said a funny story about the one time I went out in Brum. That's all, but we're gonna keep pushing.
All right, backstage. Tariq George, this is the last one of the segment. So Chelsea will decide on the best development plan for Tariq George. The club rate him highly, but may decide a loan could represent the best next step for him on his career path. Chelsea are considering loaning Tariq George. There is an interest from a lot of clubs in the A lot of clubs in the winger. What the hell? Anyways, and Chelsea want him to develop by getting regular game time, according to The Athletic. So a loan for Tariq George. I'm not opposed to it. I think it's yes.
Can you smell that?
Smells like bullshit.
No, it smells like pure profit, baby.
It smells like pure profit. I was about to say. It smells like pure
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. See, go fuck yourself.
You know
man.
what?
This is
We
what
do need that
Anti-common.
60 million, right, guys? Oh yeah, pure profit. That's fucking normal.
I forgot. Ahmed likes this player. He rates him.
You know what it is, man. I just think for me, whenever we talk about common players,
Listen, man. I only got one thing to say, bro.
Tell him to bring me my money.
No, listen.
I just saw them.
That is outrageous. That is outrageous, Rico. Firstly, yeah, and secondly, I've actually never been to Thailand. Funnily enough, so
Allegedly.
no, that's factually.
Allegedly.
Actually, I've actually not been to Southeast Asia.
Can you provide me any evidence to the contrary?
Yeah,
You can't.
I can show you
Therefore,
my
allegedly.
passport.
Therefore, allegedly.
Well, let me
All I gotta say is
suck
the
it,
private
people.
chat's
You will
interesting.
suck
That's all I gotta say. The private chat's interesting. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, speaking of the private chat, hold on. Actually, that reminds me. Don't get scared, Ahmed. It's okay. This is how I wanted to actually end it. So we saw this list, right? This is the list of players that are in Chelsea's club. Well, thank you, RSM. Big up to You know what? Hold on. RSM gets a little round of applause for this one because he did the Lord's work by giving us the actual list. I did the wrong thing. Okay, hold on. There we go. Here's the actual list. They literally try. They were having a laugh, bro. They actually try to have a second page, and Fofana was on that second page. But yeah, this is pretty much accurate, I think.
24 squad.
Yeah, I do think Penders does end up staying, but we'll see. Petrovic, Bergstrom.
Well, Bergstrom's gone.
Yeah, he is gone.
I don't think we should be looking Chalobah after. I like him to be a squad
And
player.
Selmino will be loaned out. 100%.
Doesn't matter what you think, Chris.
Well, okay, like, is that confirmed? Like, we're gonna move him on? Like,
yeah, no.
But
I think the only
the
two
opportunity
people
shows up.
I think the only two people I disagree with in terms of what RSM's put is I think Dewsbury stays and Anselmino goes on loan, but then it's still 24 because you just want him one out.
Yeah. Listen, again, the squad is going to be around. The squad's going to be around like 24 to like 27 max. Like that's my point, basically. Like, they made like this squad. They basically said we had like a 50-man squad. Like they're actually like smoking, bro.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Gilchrist is saying firstly.
No,
Wiley's already on the loan, by the way.
This man said Gilchrist is saying, who's gonna tell him?
Wiley's on the loan.
Does he know? Does he know?
Bashir Humphries has already been sold.
Yeah, that's true. What the hell? They actually literally tried to put Bashir Humphries.
Yeah, it already got confirmed. Vega's gonna get sold. Disasi is probably gonna is going to get sold.
I'm just having a look, by the way, on a side note, on the registration rules for the Champions League, the like homegrown thing. I'm looking at 7, unless I've miscounted. But it may be 8 depending on if João Pedro counts. And we need 8 to not get penalised.
8 outgoings?
No, 8 homegrowns.
Oh,
if you don't,
got
it. in the what's it called in the Champions League squad, if you don't have 8 for every, so say for example you have 7. So I think the Champions League squad is it 25 you can register.
Mm-hmm.
For every, like, so say you only have 7 homegrowns, you can only register 24 players. So, like, for every homegrown you don't have, you have to lose 1 player. But yeah, so we've got 7, unless João Pedro counts, in which case we have 8.
So looking to move on is not copium. Sterling has no place in this team. They are looking to move on. You know,
True.
Like, we're trying to sell Disasi, Veiga, Chilwell. Like, yeah, we're looking to move them on. They have no place in this club. I mean, I do agree with Scott. Like, and I've been saying it. Like, I think KDH. He's not been absolutely horrendous, but he's not been.
Oh no, we do have 8. Fuck, I didn't count Dewsbury Hall. Never mind.
Dewsbury Hall, I think even for the homegrown quota, I think he stays.
Yeah, if he stays, that's our number 8. That's even if João Pedro counts or not.
Yeah.
So.
Killiman's gonna get sold, by the way. Killiman's gonna get loaned or sold.
Yeah, probably.
Isugu hopefully gets sold next year as well. Just to piss off Marshall. Because he always hits common players.
Yeah, I hope so too. More money for the club. Americanize this club. Make it pure profit.
Don't worry, man.
Sorry,
man.
Grow the stocks.
You know what's funny?
Stocks.
You know what's funny, man? Man, them are happy now that the tickets are $25. But you know, when the streets are paying that money, man, they're telling you start paying more.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen, no. Hold on. Wait, Marshall. Hold on. It's almost like, hold up. But Marshall, you know what's crazy? It's almost like the ticket prices went down due to the actual market demands. These brothers are playing. These brothers are paying. You guys are paying artificially. Artificially low prices, and now you're paying exactly what they always should have been.
No, that's not true.
It just sounds like you're mad. That's what it sounds like to me.
Sounds like to me that you guys are getting happy over something that you get mad at us
it
for. So
just sounds like
that sounds a bit true,
here
doesn't
to
it?
stay, so I can.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
He's so angry.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, the meats and potato of today's show, which we got here late, but we're here. Yeah, listen, that outgoing segment took a lot. I thought you guys would be quick with it, but we all had good opinions on it. So, you know what it is to me. I just like to let it flow. I don't know what I mean by that, but we're gonna continue on. So, next segment, Nani Madueke for Ethan Nwaneri. Let's speak on it. Let's see what the news has to say. Oh man, if this happens, this would be amazing. Anyways, so. Started off with rumors that we all heard of already, that there was interest for Nani. We weren't necessarily trying to move him on, but we weren't, going to say no to any deals or, offers that were given to us or thrown on the table. So we start off with this one. Chelsea are open to suitable offers from Nani Madueke. We continue on. Atletico Madrid see Madueke as a market opportunity. Continuing on, we also have Nani Madueke has attracted interest from PL rivals such as Newcastle and Arsenal. And Chelsea like the England winger. Oh, shit. I went on the wrong thing. All right, here we go. Arsenal discussed Nani internally this week as one of the potential options. No proposal or talks by the club yet. It's an open situation. This was about 2 weeks ago. So, as we move forward, Madueke is one of the names being discussed internally at Arsenal. So he is a player who is appreciated and a player who Arsenal are considering. But at the moment, there are no bids or contact with Chelsea. No bid proposal for Nani. He's on Arsenal's list. Arsenal had talks to understand the situation of Nani Madueke last week. They have not sent the proposal and nothing's changed in terms of negotiations. And then Fabrizio is reporting here that Arsenal are discussing Nani internally in a separate deal to Eberechi Eze, as reported here last week. No proposal has been sent yet to Chelsea or Nani, as Arsenal keep assessing multiple options. Maresca still values Nani. However, Chelsea could entertain bids of £45 million or higher with add-ons on top, especially if they secure another attacker. Update: Madueke is one that Arsenal are clearly doing some work on, conversations more on the player's side. I don't know if anything club-to-club conversation at this point, but that can change very quickly, according to Ornstein on the Athletic podcast. Fabrizio also reporting here that understand Arsenal have now started advancing on personal terms discussions with Nani Madueke. Madueke hasn't asked to leave Chelsea at this stage, which we'll get to that as well. Focused on Club World Cup. Meanwhile, he's understood to be open to Arsenal move. Nothing agreed or close between the clubs. And then here, the Ornstein Bamba. Nani Madueke agrees personal terms with Arsenal as they consider approaching Chelsea for England international. Arsenal have the 23-year-old's green light and strong relations with Chelsea, but no club-to-club talks. Firm option to bolster on both wings. What the hell? Okay, and then Justin Madueke is thought to be willing to join Arsenal, and even though Chelsea value him at £50 million, could be available for about $40 million with add-ons. Nani Madueke is main target for Arsenal in the summer. Then we also had another bomba from Fabrizio here. Chelsea have been showing interest in Ethan Nwaneri situation only in case new deal won't be sealed with Arsenal. Nwaneri and Arsenal are in talks over a new deal while player wants game time guaranteed. Separate deal from Madueke, who agreed personal terms with Arsenal. Nwaneri's contract ends next summer. Arsenal in talks to try and sign before January, as he will be free to speak to other clubs. Questions surround the opportunities he will have this season, with reports of incoming players like Nani joining. Earlier this season, Arteta said he's unbelievable when he touches that what the fuck? When he touches that ball, special things happen. He just made things happen. Hope he is given more opportunities at Chelsea. Chelsea in the last 24 hours have inquired about Ethan Nwaneri's situation. Something like if there are problems over game time or on his contract with Arsenal, Chelsea will be ready to make a proposal. So Chelsea have positioned themselves telling people close to the player and also telling those who are well informed on the story that they will be ready to attack for Nwaneri, according to Fabrizio. Continuing on, club-to-club contacts for Nani set to take place soon after agreement done in personal terms. Chelsea keen on Nwaneri only if Arsenal talks over new deal collapse and no active talks over Ter Stegen so far. I think that was for Arsenal's point of view. I don't know. But anyways, or Chelsea maybe. I don't know. The club will look for a sizable fee if they are to sell Madueke. Chelsea will point to West Ham looking for at least £60 million for Kudus, and Nottingham Forest seeking more than £50 million for Elanga. Continuing on, understand Arsenal are set to send an opening bid for Nani after agreement on the player's personal terms. Told Madueke has committed to a 5-year deal valid until 2030, already approved by the player's camp. Understand Chelsea are expecting to field offers of more than £50 million for Nani Madueke. Arsenal are advancing in talks for the winger. This is at the moment, there is quite a difference between Chelsea's valuation of the player and Arsenal's valuation of the player, which obviously is going to happen. No one agrees immediately. Madueke waiting for the club-to-club as he's ready to join the Gunners. Update on Nwaneri's situation as well. Chelsea have discussed Nwaneri with Arsenal during the club's talk over Nani, but Arsenal would like him to sign a new deal. And I believe that's everything I have on the situation. A lot that happened right there. I guess I'll start off with this. If Nani goes the other direction, are you guys cool with Nwaneri coming to Chelsea?
Yes, I will say, bro, listen.
Depends how much.
Pies and Nwaneri at Strasbourg would make movies, bro. That's all I will say, bro.
And also, like, does he really get into like the starting lineup anything? Because we brought in.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we got Neto, we got Gittens in, Esteval's got to obviously be Bella probably in the future as well. He's 18 years old. Obviously not in Madueke be the other way. Like if we sell him, but like I don't know. It's just depending on the fee. But like yeah, like I haven't really seen a lot of this kid. Like he hasn't been really what I've seen used a lot at Arsenal. But I also seen a lot of Arsenal fans pissed if he does go. So. Maybe they see something I haven't seen really.
He has no place in the squad. Like he would not play at all. But I don't care. It would just be bans. So do it.
Because I'm just trying to think like where does he fit?
That would be hilarious if we gave them Nani for 50 million, which stopped them getting someone like an Eze or a Rodrigo because they didn't, or not didn't, but weren't willing to spend the extra money to get that sorted. And then we took, arguably, because I think Lewis Skelly is up there as well for this. Arguably their best like talent from the academy. That would be fun.
Well,
so they're not playing.
15-year-old, right? They have that 15-year-old that everyone rates.
Oh yeah, Max. Apparently there was a report that we asked about him, like part of this deal, and they immediately said no.
But no, it's legitimately capped though. We're not allowed to sign players that are under 18 to professional contracts. Yep. So that was just a cap report. But like I agree with the I would only want, like, in the case that Madueke does go Arsenal, if we get Nwaneri in return, just for the head loss, it'd be worth whatever price.
I feel like they're. I mean, I'm not saying, because I agree. I don't think he starts. I think he could be used as a rotational piece in case of injuries. Like he could play in the 10 position, right? He could play in that right wing position.
I don't know. I haven't really seen a lot of
he's not though. Like he's really not. Like he has no place in this team at all. Like if you're looking at it from a squad planning perspective, it's a terrible transfer. It makes absolutely no sense. He has no place. But from head loss, from just the absolute chaos it would cause, it makes all the sense in the world.
I guess. Now, another thing, I kind of want to address this because I feel like this is a weird conversation happening around Nani Madueke. If Nani goes to Arsenal, which I don't want him to, by the way, I should say this, right? I still feel that Nani does actually help Arsenal. But if I genuinely do.
He's not great on certain players.
Marshall, what did you feel about Havertz to Arsenal?
Yeah,
Just asking respectfully.
I suppose you knew. I didn't know you knew about like his habits level.
Yo, he went back and looked into the lore. He did the lore stuff.
Yeah, no, RSM, you don't know. This man was.
Oh no, he knows. I think
the Havertz fan boy.
That's why I asked. No, it was a rhetorical question because he knew why I asked. Again, he goes there.
I didn't like
as another Chelsea saboteur agent. I'm telling you, next season, when Raya, I'm not advocating for injury. Make this clear.
But he gets
injured. He gets injured. They have to go into the UCL with Kepa. Yeah. Them long shots are gonna be cash money, bro. They're gonna be cash money. I'm telling you.
My point in saying that though is this though. Hold on, Chris. And Chris, maybe you can answer this.
Well, no, it's good.
I don't think Nani is a snake for making this move.
No.
Honestly, I don't think he's good enough for me to give a fuck about him being a snake. I'll be honest. I call people
I'm lying for the camera, bro. Don't let me get on the camera and tell me.
Like, if it's a player I rate and they're leaving, I'm gonna call them a snake. If it's a player I don't rate and they're leaving, are they a snake? No, I don't give a fuck. Go ahead, just ruin their fucking team. Do I care? Do it, bro.
I think he's a solid player, but like I think it's the reason why he wants to go right is because he's not gonna be favored to go on the right wing. Or my like.
Well, you got Esteval coming into the team. We just got Jamie Gittens. We just got João Pedro. Like,
so, I don't. If he thinks he's gonna like go on a right wing at Arsenal, then good luck because like he knows like Saka's gonna play on that right wing. He has to
I was literally just saying this to Scott and backstage right before we started the show today. I genuinely feel like as a backup to Saka and to rotate with Saka, I think he's a good option.
Yeah,
if you want to use him on the left wing, you could potentially start him. But I honestly think, I don't think he's going to play more than Saka. So for him, for his perspective, it doesn't make much sense of a move unless he actually plans to take that left wing, which even then you can say maybe Trossard is better. Maybe that's debatable, right? I genuinely think he's not. And every time they start him, they always say, oh, he's better off the bench. And then you get Martinelli does fuck all in
he's better than
games.
Martinelli, I think.
So, in my opinion, I actually think Nani probably thinks he's better than Saka.
Well, hey, people are allowed to be delusional in life. I get it.
Like, Saka's like that guy, man. Like, he ain't
do you think Nani thinks that?
I don't think. I hope he doesn't think that. Because he's in a delusional land.
Nani thinks he's good. Like, I genuinely believe Nani.
No, I know he
Nani
thinks he's good, but like, that's fine.
He keeps it in check. But
if you think you're like, you go replace Saka, he's in a delusional land. Like,
but
there's no way.
Chris, we're all delusional at times. Like, I thought at one point when I was a kid, I could be a footballer. It didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's
the sad truth of reality, and a lot of us ain't good enough.
Better than Saka. Like, you know what, man? Props to you, man. I like that delusion.
Like, again, I think I sent it in the chat, and this is my summary of of the situation. Here, I said, let me get this straight. He wants to go from the Chelsea bench competing against Neto and Esteval to the Arsenal bench competing against Saka and Nwaneri for the same exact wages. This is survival of the fittest, and this brother tapped out because he couldn't beat Pedro Neto and Esteval. But yeah, he gonna help Arsenal though.
Yeah, I can't go on to it. Sorry.
I really want to know.
I said this to Marshall earlier backstage. I do think he does help Arsenal, but not necessarily in a sense of like his ability. It's more him going there gives them a backup to Saka because they don't have one. Like, it's Nwaneri currently, but I'll be real. This is part of the other thing with Nwaneri. We don't even know what his best position is. Like, I thought he was at 8/10. But he spent most of last season playing as the backup right winger because they had no one else.
Gold Cup finals today. Fuck my life.
I hope you lose. Come
on, Poch. If Poch wins, Marshall,
I need a
tomorrow American waffle. We're gonna be
wow. If Poch wins the Gold Cup friendly in the worst region in the entire world, oh my god, wow, shiver me timbers. Shiver me timbers because I hate Poch. That's why. Because I hate Poch. I hate Poch. That's why.
I know you've got something for me. But yeah, I think with the Nani thing,
RSM's the same brother say. No, I'm gonna interrupt you because listen, at the end of the day, Madueke's gone to this club. It's over, man. Why are we talking about this? He's gone. It's been
I feel a little bit of hurt coming from Ahmed's corner here.
Oh,
There's
definitely.
nothing to be hurt about because we know it's over.
People, you know.
Bro, he's holding in tears right now. But yeah, I think that with
I'll be honest, man. I'll be
Madueke,
so honest with you. It's over. It's over. It's over.
Go ahead, Scott.
We know.
I think with Madueke, he's going to help them because he's going to give them a backup to Saka, which means they don't have to play Saka in every single game next season to the point where his hamstring is falling off the bone. That's where I think he helps them. In terms of like, he is going to give them a viable option instead of Saka to play in those games against the lower league, Premier League teams, your Burnleys and shit like that, and your like cup games, for example. That's where he will help them because he is an upgrade on just having no one. Where I hope that it fucks them up though is, I think I mentioned this earlier, I hope that the 50 million they're paying for him or whatever it ends up being is then 50 million they can't spend on Eze or Rodrigo, which would be a huge upgrade. But I think this transfer makes sense for all parties. You know, he's going to a club where he will have more opportunities. Like, he is at worst at Arsenal just behind Saka. At best, he's starting on left wing and playing really well regularly. For Chelsea, it makes sense. Just we get money for him, and for Madueke, it makes sense in terms of you can see it's the kind of the writings on the wall. And so I don't think he's a snake and all that nonsense is because it's quite clear that we don't want him anymore. You wouldn't sign Gittens and João Pedro and be linked with Kudus and be so hyped around Esteban and all the stuff that's come out about him for Noni to stay. Like, that just doesn't happen. And then
we're getting a significant fee on him. And
you go get Tender as well and all that. Like, the writing's on the wall. So I think it's a good time for everyone to kind of wash their hands with it all. He's going to get a new start. We're going to get some money in which we can use elsewhere, hopefully for a centre back or a left back or Manyan. And then Arsenal get a good backup. Like, he is going to be a good backup for them because I think he's a good player, nothing more, but a good player. Yeah. So, like as I said, I think it'll help them a bit just because it improves the level of the squad because they actually have a backup now. But that's about it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Listen. Let's just keep it 100%. You know, when we get Garnacho in exchange for Madueke, I'm gonna be here no matter what.
Hey, Ahmed, if that happens, I'll be here too. Don't you worry.
Ahmed, how
you said keep it 100, bro. You said you lied.
That's me keeping it 100.
Well, Marshall, I'm gonna be honest. Like, Marshall, you are.
Shut your bitch ass up. I'm keeping it 100.
Shut your bitch ass up.
That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it. I'm keeping 100 because listen, when Madueke
you keeping it 99 because you be lying, bro.
Listen, when Madueke leaves, someone's coming in. We all know this, right? Now I know we'll get to Kudus when we get to him. There's another guy, Malik Fofana. If you bring him in, he's clear of running Madueke. You will hear me have zero complaints on him. But we also know there's someone else that we've also been linked to before.
No.
That's why you have to bring him up, bro.
Those links have been so cold.
Listen, they've gone cold now, but don't you worry, man. Sometimes, man, all you need to do is put in the microwave.
His agent will be talking a lot. We know that. But go ahead.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna say Scott, and then we'll move on to Kudus.
They've gone cold because nothing's happening. That's why they've gone cold.
I do think
Ahmed, right now.
I'm not saying like he's definitely going to come in. Ahmed is right in terms of if Madueke leaves, their replacement is going well. I don't think a replacement definitely needs to be bought, but it probably will be bought. The options we are looking at currently is Kudus number one, but if he goes, I don't know if he does or not. I'm just going to wait and see what happens there because until he's holding that Tottenham shirt, I'm just going to wait.
Double the fun.
Interesting. Fofana, I think, is probably after, like the second one up afterwards. And then, if we're being honest, the third one on that list is Garnacho. Unfortunately. But as I said, that's not me saying we'll get him, but I do think he is on that list, unfortunately.
But I think the report that I read said that we wanted Garnacho on a similar thing as Sancho, right? Just like a loan. We wouldn't buy him, especially for the price that United are asking for. And United are desperate to sell him. Like, that's the one thing. Like, they're desperate to sell him, and we aren't looking to buy. We would want a loan at best.
All right, cheers, Jeff. Cheers, Jeff. You know, this is Charles Football Club. We'll make it happen. Cheers, Jeff.
Man, shut your bitch ass up.
You know what I mean? Cheers, Jeff.
Man, shut your bitch ass up.
I'm gonna be so real with you. I can't wait when that blonde-haired wig comes to this football club and people start complaining.
One more time, RSM. One more time.
Yeah, I got you.
Man, shut your bitch ass up.
Who the hell is that guy anyway? Isn't he in jail?
I have no idea.
Hey man, and I need to. Hey,
am I supposed to know about the status of every single person who's made a meme sound now?
Man,
am I supposed
to know
that?
Jail, and I'm free. He can hold that. So
you're not free. You're permanently in jail.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna be back in jail in a little bit, bro.
Your takes.
Listen, Poch in. Poch wins the US.
Bro.
That's for you, Marshall. Just for you.
No, he definitely staying for that World Cup.
You know, by the way, Ahmed, he's staying regardless of whether they win, lose, or do.
Yeah,
like,
that man.
No, I just want him to win the Gold Cup so that Marshall.
No,
hopefully he stays there for like the next 8 years.
Ladies and gents, hold on. Ladies and gents, I just want to point out. Remember what I said on TJ's channel. Just watch the first time that Mexico and the US play, and Mexico beat the US. There will be more riots than you ever thought you saw in the US.
Is it possible for us to watch that in the UK? I might watch that, That's on at midnight, I think.
Probably. It's on. It's on national TV. So, actually, let me check. I don't
know. It doesn't say on this app for me.
Apparently, if you want to watch in the UK, it's on Premier Sports 2.
Oh, fuck off, man. Everything's on fucking Premier Sports.
ITV4. I think it's an ITV4. It might be on there.
Is it? You could, it's
I'll check for you now, but I think it's an
watchable. It's watchable.
Please do.
All right. The last topic I'm going to end on is going to be the other banger that we had, which had to do with Mohamed Kudus, which I need to wrap my head around this. Maybe if I actually take my bias out of it, I can do it. But let's get into this. So Mohamed Kudus choosing Spurs over Chelsea, apparently. Let's get into it. So first we had here from about a few weeks ago, Enzo Maresca has been looking for players capable of playing a range of attacking positions, with Chelsea also considering a move for Mohamed Kudus. West Ham expect to receive bids for Kudus from elsewhere. Now, West Ham are open to an offer for £60 million for Mohamed Kudus and are attracting interest. Chelsea like that he can play across three positions, but it remains to be seen if they sign another attacker after signing Pedro and Gittens. Chelsea are interested in Kudus despite Pedro and Gittens' deal, so that goes to show that we were still interested. Chelsea have spoken to Kudus' agent, but nothing advanced yet, while Spurs are pushing strongly for the deal. Spurs want to end their unofficial transfer embargo with West Ham, which I didn't know existed, by signing Mohamed Kudus this summer. Plus a look at how the last five players to make the switch have got on. Okay, I think the last five players from West Ham to Spurs have gotten on from there. Okay, I think I understand that now. Mohamed Kudus' potential departure for West Ham could lead the Hammers to turn their attention to Dewsbury Hall and Carney Chukwuemeka. Kudus was subject of a player cash deal from Chelsea, which the Hammers rejected, making it more clear here as well. Chelsea have not ruled out move for West Ham's Mohamed Kudus. However, the belief is the Blues would likely need to sell players before swooping in for Kudus, who is available this summer. Chelsea have looked at the possibility of sending players to West Ham in return for Kudus, but sources at the London Stadium say they are not interested in the potential trades that have been broached thus far. Chelsea understood to have offered 2 to 3 players for Mohamed Kudus. However, West Ham United are adamant they want straight cash deal, and that's from very reliable source, ex-West Ham United employee. Tottenham are now in advanced talks to land West Ham winger Mohamed Kudus. He's valued at around £60 million, but his release clause is $80 million, according to Graham Bailey. From Team Talk, Chelsea are in negotiations with West Ham over Spurs target Kudus. West Ham wants 65 to 70 million pounds for Kudus, and they feel that price tag is quite reasonable, which I think I would agree with. West Ham United have tonight received an offer from Tottenham to sign Kudus. A bid worth 50 million pounds turned down, but direct club-to-club talks continue. 24-year-old Ghana international prioritizing Tottenham if exits to West Ham and personal terms not an issue. Breaking. Chelsea are set to submit an official bid of 55 million pounds plus 5 million fee for West Ham for Mohamed Kudus. Understand, Spurs propose a package worth around 55 million pounds but West Ham rejected it. West Ham believe Chelsea is the right place for Mohamed Kudus. The player is also keen to joining West Ham. Apparently, the player was keen to joining Chelsea, which we found out is not true. West Ham are confident that Chelsea will submit a better offer than Tottenham's current bid. Kudus and Chelsea talks are currently underway with West Ham. West Ham after official Spurs bid got rejected. West Ham want Kudus to join Chelsea instead of Spurs, and Chelsea remain keen. One to watch in the coming days. Chelsea bidding 55 plus 5 in add-ons. We'll see Kudus joining the team. And then here we got Ben Jacobs reporting Spurs' top priority is Mohamed Kudus, and Ghanaian midfielder is keen on the move, as revealed. Expected to take around £60 million to strike a deal. West Ham won't demand the £85 million release clause. Tottenham remains in talks after seeing a £50 million deal rejected. Spurs not pursuing Eberechi Eze, who remains a leading target for Arsenal, and in addition to AFC adding at least one winger. Kudus is prioritizing Spurs if he leaves West Ham, and personal terms are not expected to be an issue, according to Ornstein. And lastly, from Fabrizio, I think second lastly, Tottenham are set to bid again for Mohamed Kudus next week. Players keen on joining Spurs. Chelsea have also been in touch in Kudus' camp with more clubs also interested, but Spurs want to accelerate. Thomas Frank already approves of the transfer. And last year, understand Mohamed Kudus is not talking to any other clubs at this stage. He wants Tottenham move. Kudus already said yes to Spurs project, and club-to-club talks with West Ham will continue. Clear intention is to join Spurs. From a fan point of view, I don't get it. I guess from the Chelsea point of view, if I had to look at it from Kudus' point of view, he probably sees all the attackers that Chelsea has and doesn't see a very clear or direct path for him to be a starter, which he probably wants to keep being a starter. That's the only way I can wrap my head around as to why you would choose Spurs over Chelsea. We can't even say that we have Champions League over them because they have Champions League as well.
It's not exactly we have world-class wingers, or I know we have Cole Palmer in that 10 or you put him on the right wing, but we don't really have any world-class. Neto's great, obviously. He's having a great Club World Cup right now. Noni could be on his way out. Esteval's going to take him, a couple of years for sure to see what he can do. You think maybe Kudus would back himself and maybe try out Chelsea, but maybe, yeah, you're right. He just says Chelsea are moving mad with all the attackers again, and I don't see the point and just go to Tottenham. It's a damn shame because I wanted him a couple of years ago when we got Cole Palmer, but yeah, I guess we're not getting him, eh?
He's moving fraudulent though, man. What a downgrade. If he wants to do that, that's his decision. But one thing I will say is if we do sell Nani and we don't get Kudus and Rodrigo's available, that's all I'm gonna say, bro. No excuse.
I would love to get Rodrigo.
No excuse, man.
I don't disagree with that.
Apparently, all Alex Goldberg...
especially if we made the final, because once again, by the way, you're not convincing me that these sporting directors factored in the Club World Cup money if we make the final. I don't care.
We're getting 18 million then. I think we're on 61 million right now.
If we make the final, we're making 80, bro.
Yeah, we get another. No, I think we make more because I think Marshall put up earlier. We've made 60-something million. We get another 30 if we get to the final. So that will be.
Oh, wait, it's 30 if we win it and the final, right?
By the way, hold up, man. Everybody, hold up.
Being in the final, and then another 40 after that.
Yeah, we get another 40 on top, so we'll get 130 or between 120 and 130 if we get to the final.
And they probably expected what? They probably drew it up, right? Where we faced PSG immediately after we finished facing the group, first in the group. We passed the first round, and then it was quarters we faced PSG and get knocked out. So any money after quarters is money they did not expect to come into the club.
Yep.
And I'll say this, by the way, for everybody saying wages, right? You can choose to believe or not, right? And I think Scott has seen this too. Mm-hmm. Lewis has said for, I think, months now that he got given information that there's 4 players that the club would break wage structure for, right? I think one was Kane. What was the other one?
It was Kane, Van Dijk, Rodrigo, and one unnamed player.
And one unknown player. So you could choose to believe or not, but you know that Lewis has people that know stuff. He be getting the teams before it comes out, etc., etc. You can decide to believe or not, but there you go.
I'm gonna be very honest with you. You have a bigger chance of getting Leao for 65 million than you do of even Rodrigo ever come to this football club.
Yeah.
Unless he's the opposition.
You're not wrong.
I'm going to keep very honest with you.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the one that you probably would. That's the one, again, I'm extremely speculating here. Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. If there's any big crazy sign that the club is going to do, they're probably going to risk it for, it would be him, in my personal opinion. But who's going to come in for Kudus? More than likely, and I'm going to be very honest with you, it's probably going to be the Leon player.
Malik
Fofana.
The Fofana thing just doesn't make sense to me, though. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
The thing for me, I think the only way you look at it is then that if Jackson also leaves hypothetically alongside Madueke, yeah, then I think for me they maybe see João Pedro more so as
a right winger,
as a striker, maybe as a striker in that 2-man formation alongside Delap.
To be fair, I will say I don't necessarily think we need another winger if Noni leaves. Like, depending on it depends on like where it depends on where they think certain players are going to play. Because like if Noni leaves, you still could run a team where you've got Delap and Jackson as the 1 and 2 striker. You've got João Pedro and Gittens as the 1 and 2 winger, because João Pedro could play that like the left winger /10 that we've been seeing Maresca play this tournament. You would probably need maybe a backup for Palmer, but maybe not because he's going to play 99% of the games anyway. And you'd have Neto and Esteval as the 2 right wingers. It's like you may not even need that other attacking player, or you maybe just need to get a backup 10 for like 10, 15 mil, whatever it's like. So that's where maybe a Nwaneri makes sense if he's going to be the backup 10. And then you go and spend that money on a centre-back or a left-back instead. So I think it just depends on like where Maresca in this club sees the positionally some of these players playing. Because
the way I look at it is that
João Pedro, like for example, sorry, just before you go, João Pedro coming on a striker in the game the other day is interesting to me, because if they see him as a striker going forward, mainly in terms of like that's where he is going to back up or start, then that probably means we do need another left wing, or we do need another left-sided player, and it probably means Jackson is gone as well. So I think it just depends on where they see.
That's the whole point, though. We all know that Jackson is gone, though. I think all of us here.
I don't think Jackson being gone is a definitive thing. I feel like I'll be honest, I can 100% see him staying.
I think for me, it's probably a bit more definitive than you think. I'd probably make the argument. I think the reason why I say that is that whoever comes in next as a signing, I think for me is probably gonna, maybe reconfirm it again for people. But I think João Pedro starting over Jackson, I think for me was very
we'll
defining.
We'll see when the Fluminense game, because that'll.
Obviously, the Fluminense game will also show. But I think in general, though, if I'm just looking at this from like a standpoint, I think for me, if Kudus is not, you were looking at Kudus, you then said, you know what, I don't want Kudus anymore. Let me look at someone else. That for me is just like a telling sign that you're looking for someone that can again just play along the wings, the 10s, not necessarily an attacker.
They were saying for Kudus, at least Alex Goldberg was saying that actually he because he rechecked apparently today too, so he favors us, but the thing is that we're actually offering lesser wages than Tottenham are.
Of course we are, because
after the João Pedro deal, he said that we are offering Kudus less money than Tottenham are, and that's why he's gonna choose the one with the more money.
But again, that makes logical sense. Like again, I saw Arsenal fans today shocked about the wages when Madueke was on at the football club, and I was like,
yeah, they were. I saw that they were like, "Well, he's on 50."
Why were they shocked?
Because Madueke's on 50k a week. That's point. Yes, Madueke is on 50k a week according to that.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah,
I he's on 100.
No, he's on low.
No, he's a broke boy, bro.
And again, this is why this is again what by the way, Mount and Gallagher they know the deals they were on at Chelsea, were on 55k a week, by the way, because that was like the contract that we give usually in the academy. So again, that just shows you that we're paying some of these guys lower than our academy graduates, by the way. So, but the point I'm just trying to make.
US just scored from a set piece, by the way.
Yes, let's go.
Who just scored?
US. But by the way, British guy scoring a US goal, by the way.
That's
if this ain't dick riding, I don't know what is, bro.
But listen, essentially,
I don't know.
Right, fucking.
yeah. But listen, essentially, at the end of the day,
Chris Richards.
The point I'm trying to listen. Essentially, the point is, and I've said this before. You just the club has its own wage structure, and that's probably one of the things that hurts you when you're trying to go for maybe certain place. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt you if the player wants to come to you. They will come for you no matter what, bro. They will accept the wages.
My question is, what wages? What do you know? What wages they're offering him?
I think they probably would offer more like 100k a week. Actually,
No. I'm talking about Tottenham. I'm talking about Tottenham.
They probably offer him 140, 150.
I don't think it's been released or like been not released.
So they're offering him. So just to get this right, if they're offering him 140, that is 50,000 more per week than Solanke.
Yeah, dude, they're not offering him. No. Because Son's on 180 and he's their golden child, dude. They don't pay anyone over 200k. They're playing Gittens on 180.
Palmer's on 130. Tosin is on 120. That's because he's a free transfer. Cole is on 100. Jackson's on 100.
Yeah, I think we probably he's on like 120 at Tottenham.
Timo was in 165 at Tottenham.
The problem is,
we probably offered him a cool 100.
These players love having a lot of guaranteed money. We don't do that around here, bro.
I mean, we do. We just give them long-term contracts. That's guaranteed.
No. We talk about guaranteed money per week.
We do incentivize. All our wages are incentivized, bro. Everything is incentivized.
Yeah.
No, I get Marshall's point because he's saying you do get guaranteed money because you may be earning 30k a week less per week, but you're getting a contract for 7 years instead of 4.
Nah, but I'll be honest.
In the world of football, 7 years is like
also like players are not dumb. You can see with what's happened with Chalobah, what's happening with Madueke, like what's happened with other players. Hall, like that 6 years is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
And again, if you look at the reason why we give these guys long-term contracts with such low wages, again, let's look at the players again we just spoke about. Easy to move on. They're on low wages. Obviously, we're also given those long-term contracts because of the amortization fees as well, right? But essentially, again, it allows you to be more flexible and mobile, and it maintains the player's value. That's the one thing that that's consistently been the reason why we give these contracts.
I'll be honest, like, even if we did get Kudus, it wasn't going to be a needle mover for me.
I'll be honest, I'm not necessarily a big fan of Kudus. If you got Yildiz, though,
what?
That's another one, too.
Oh my god. If we get Yildiz, a kid who hasn't even had a season close to Kudus in the Premier League.
I think he's got a better team than him. He's got
a better team.
You know what? Ahmed has fully bought into this. We're Epstein FC. You should go to FC at this point.
He's got a better team than him.
I gotta play this one for Ahmed.
Are you lying for the camera, bro? Don't let me get on the camera and tell me the truth.
Ahmed's not FC.
By Yildiz, but not Kudus, who got
muted.
I am Yildiz's number one fan. I'm one of Yildiz's number one fan. You know what I mean?
Are you lying for the...
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to play it again.
Yeah. So, like, again, like, listen, I'm a big fan of Yildiz.
Guess who wants a link? It's the Felix fanboy. I'm ready
to your talent ID. No, it's not. I'm
sorry. I get to listen to him at nearly 1 in the morning.
Listen, I'm sorry. Listen, Kudus, man. Kudus is a great guy, but I think Yildiz is just better, bro. I'll pay you.
You think he's better right now?
If you were here earlier, I would have gotten you.
Yes, Yildiz is.
You lying to yourself, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm not even lying to yourself there. I promise you, Yildiz is better.
I will say, I do think the one thing I will agree with Ahmed on, the whole Kudus versus Yildiz thing is, it depends. Again, this comes back to what I said earlier. It depends on what the plan is for Neto going forward. If Maresca sees Neto as the starting right winger, then it makes 100% more sense to go and get Yildiz rather than Kudus.
Or Malik Fofana.
No, that's what I say. But if we get Malik Fofana, like, first of all, I said Yildiz is not leaving Juve, so we just got to give it up.
That's another thing. Yeah, he's not leaving.
Friesen back,
especially after this tournament.
But I agree though. If we get Fofana, I'm with that. That's nice. I like that because then I think we have the touchline wingers, we also have the inside forwards, and I think that's money.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
But listen, if you bring in Malik Fofana, we're eating good. I'll be honest as well.
Yeah, I think Malik Fofana fits everything, and I don't think anybody can be that upset about it. I think everybody's calm, like chill.
The reason I'm upset about that is not for him as a player. It just comes back to like just planning. Like, what are you going to do when next season we've got him and Kenda, who's the same age, and you got Gittens, who's like 1 or 2 years older, and we've got Esteval, who's the same age. Like, you've got 4 wingers in basically the same age.
Kenda can go Strasbourg Nation, bro.
Nah, fuck that. He's playing at a better level than he's currently playing at a better level than
this for the last 2 seasons, bro. Don't do that. I wanted him.
He's been on the. He's been writing Yildiz for a while.
Yes, you know that's how CP's been decrying, you know, Esteval. So listen, the game is the game.
I know exactly. My baller.
So listen, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Listen, man. Listen, I hope he doesn't turn out to be like my goat, Malcolm Aaron. That's what I'm saying. But listen, we move. But one of the things that I do want to add here is that listen, the layout stuff. Remember, I said
by the way,
beginning of the transfer window.
You did.
Marshall knows this.
This much I can.
It would be very funny, you know, the money that they're asking for now apparently is 65 M's now. We're about to make 45 M's.
What do you think, Marshall? We were willing to pay that for Kudus.
Remember?
I would like to pay that for Rafael Leandro. I don't mind it. For
listen, I don't want the player.
Never mind. I just remembered TP wants him. Never mind. No.
I want him.
I'm going to London.
Remember, I don't want him. Remember, I don't want him. But we know there's been no Jorge Mendes signings yet for the football club.
No, by the way, I said this, Ahmed. I said I'm worried because we're about to engage in Jorge Mendes talks for Felix, and that worries me.
That's what I'm saying, bro. The time is coming, bro.
Because this is my thing. No, this is my thing. Because I see Morning Zombie saying, okay, it'll be Rafael Leao. My problem is I don't want the brother. All due respect. It's been 2 seasons. My issue is it's been 2 seasons of decline. His mentality is not good, right? He doesn't track back. It's a massive punt for a player that would be expensive and would want higher wages.
Good marketing, though. He's got a great smile.
He got a good rap career too.
Well, no, his wages have to be lowered to what we want, and apparently we're not fucking going over 200.
Bro,
apparently.
Listen.
Yeah, Leao does not have. Hold up. Leao does not.
The English
Speak. Hold up. Speak to Milan fans. They will tell you he thinks he's bigger than the club.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of players are dropping their tools, like for even what's his name, Theo Hernandez. Like he's been quite bad this season as well. So I don't know if it's just like one person.
No, he's not gone yet. He's not gone yet.
I see you, Chris. I see you.
Listen, I'm saying, like, why would we get Portugal's current like left winger when we already got Portugal's next one, bro? Let's be real. We can they come for that?
You are asking the question.
Wait.
You're asking the question of a club that has the poor squad building. So next one.
RSM, we've already got Portugal's starting left winger.
That's also true. Damn,
that's also true. But I'm telling you, like, I'll be real with you. Like, Leao is gonna be expensive. It's gonna be an expensive transfer. Milan already don't like us. I need people to understand this. Milan don't like us now because they're pissed.
We won't be negotiating with them, by the way. We will not negotiate them. Remember, guess who negotiated for us to get Neto? It was Jorge Mendes.
But Jorge Mendes is not. Jorge Mendes is not going to get them to lower the price. They're going to want 50 or 60 for Leao, like 60 minimum actually.
No, but I think you've got a better chance of that getting done with those two, with him, than the Chuckle brothers.
Yes, I genuinely believe.
Yeah, but that's because he's a competent negotiator.
We will play 65 million for him.
As much as we want to hate him, he can negotiate a deal.
Listen, we'll pay 65 million for him, and what will happen is, you know what, Jorge Mendes will be like. We'll speak to Jorge Mendes. He will get the deal done.
No, Jorge Mendes, bro. We probably paid Jorge Mendes enough to have generational wealth in his agent fees. Like I just legitimately
think
think
more than Ronaldo paid him. That's for sure.
Yeah, there you go. My whole point being, I just don't think that. I think Leao is a punt not worth taking, bro. I'm be with you. Player in decline for 2 seasons, right? Gonna be expensive wages. It's just a poor signing, bro. It's giving me Sterling vibes, man.
Listen. You can say that, of course, but the reality is, man, the club doesn't. Jorge Mendes, we've got his dick in his mouth. So
what a great way to end it.
Right.
Instead of saying Jorge Mendes has a sporting directors by the balls, he has to say that. All right, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes just stick to the tried and true sayings. How about that?
So yeah, sometimes
We don't need the Bridge Nation special. We don't need the Bridge Nation specials, man.
Listen, man. We go bigger, better, and stronger around here, man.
No.
My God. Oh my God.
Doubling down.
And on that note,
And on that note, just yeah, end it. Wrap it up.
Ahmed,
Wrap it up.
how did you get these?
Wrap it up.
I don't get them. I tried.
Also, by the way, hold on. By the way,
barely paying attention half the time.
By the way, I just need to say this before stream ends. By the way, I have very, very bad news for Chelsea fans. The game is on Tuesday. I live in the state that the game is going to be played at. I have checked the weather. At 3 p.m., a massive thunderstorm is gonna roll in.
listen,
I'm not lying. Go right now, Marshall. Go right now while we're on stream or end the stream. Go to the weather report and look at Tuesday. After I think at like 2:33, the thunderstorm rolls in. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to every Chelsea fan.
At least, even
it's not at 9 p.m. Yeah, it's not at 9. Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's not 2 in the morning our time.
But do not plan anything after. Yeah, see, Marshall sees it. He saw the weather report. He knows we're finished. We're actually finished.
What is?
We're finished.
Yeah, East Rutherford. That's where it's at.
Oh, bro,
Scattered thunderstorms. Scattered thunderstorms.
They're gonna hit one line to strike. That's
no, but EPL it's even worse. That's my point, because it's a 10-mile thing. No, my point, EPL, by the way, is the reason why I kept an eye on this since last week. It's been saying thunderstorms since pretty much last week, and I'm like, okay, usually when it's within 2 days, when you get within 48 hours of the event, the weather's not gonna change. We're like the thunderstorms completely like fall off the face of the earth.
No, but RSM is correct because it's for the entire East Coast. Because even in Toronto, we're having the same.
Yes, bro, I'm telling you.
Tuesday and Wednesday, we're having thunderstorms.
This might end up being a 2.
Is there a roof on the top though? Is there no roof?
No,
it's open.
It's open.
All right,
I'm telling you, and it's 10 mile. We're finished.
We'll see. Hopefully, it postpones it enough for me to get out of work and get there and all that fun stuff, and you guys in UK can watch it at a more comfortable time. That being said, I do have to end because I got to be out of here. Anyways, guys, big up to every single one of you for watching. Big up to the panel for joining us. Very, very good episode of Casually FC. If you guys haven't done so already, smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, help us out with the YouTube algorithm. Big up to every single one of you also for helping us get to 3.5K subscribers. So let's get to 5K. That's the goal. That's what we're trying to do. So help us get there by subscribing. Check out the links in the description for everyone's content. The Bridge Nation. You got RSM in there. Winter Surfers, Twitter, all that fun stuff. So go ahead and check that out. And last but not least, ladies and gents, shout out to our members, and that's going to go out to our proper casual and higher tier members. Check out the membership. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. That's going to go out to Daniel, TM127EE, Dark, Adrian, and A. Sullivan. Big up to you guys. Appreciate everything you do for us. We'll be back again for a match reaction the day after the match, because quite honestly, if we lose, I want to be comforted by the alcohol that I will be drinking with my fellow Chelsea brethren. And if we win, I'll probably be celebrating with the alcohol that I will be drinking with my fellow Chelsea brethren. So I kind of want to just enjoy the post game to celebrate or, cope. So yeah, we'll do a review of the game on Wednesday, and then we will see you again after that. All right. Hopefully Chelsea win. Hopefully we go into the final, and we'll be there for it, boys. Up to Chelsea. As always, have a wonderful night. Stay casual. Peace.